You gotta do the mics first. That's what we've talked about.
It doesn't translate.
It should translate.
But it don't.
I hate that you're the way that you are.
I hate just things, okay?
Well, then I guess before the mics come on, is it
They're on
pedophilia
now.
if you're a tentacle monster?
Oh my god! They're on.
Ghost ship day!
You don't know that. Maybe we'll get sidetracked and buy a dress.
Oh my god, I hate all of you. Hey everybody, I'm Soul Roast. These are my friends, unfortunately. Welcome back to our continuing game of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. We got a little bit of a late start due to a lot of technical difficulties that started with scheduling issues and then degenerated into technical issues. And I actually said the fucking words that it was not technical difficulties
You did.
and that we were only starting because of some scheduling conflicts.
And I wrote that in Discord. And that was a lie. You made a liar.
I did. I made a liar out of it.
Everyone.
And then it turned out to be technical difficulties. For some reason, cameras didn't want to work. Nothing wanted to work today.
We have disgruntled cameras. They're mad because we don't pay them a fair living wage, but we're not going to start now.
Yeah, really.
They only work once a week, for God's sake.
What, do they want a fire exit that we don't lock?
We pay them the normal amount.
Did I show you that picture from the Kmart? Where the fire exit had a bike lock wrapped around the emergency exit paddles?
Savage.
That's what I'm
I
talking
have
about.
it.
I was talking about like the 1920
Because
fire.
no
I'll post that on
escape.
Discord for everyone to see. It's great.
Because no escape. I watched that video too. It's interesting.
It's fun.
It was
Which video?
interesting. It was just a history of like fire escapes, where they come from.
Yeah, somebody was talking about a textile fire in a factory where a whole bunch of like 147 chicks died,
Yeah, all textile workers.
and they all like dove out the windows and shit. I was like,
Yeah,
man,
like
that's fucked up.
But that's Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
No, all Kmart's
Hey man,
the same.
history
It
was
sad and
history was
trashy.
crazy.
The one we're gonna post
So, with that being said, there is no ambrosia today. I disabled it, so it's not available today.
You
rolled-
dirty whore.
I
He
know,
rolled
I
a
did.
0 on a fucking D4.
D4. It landed on the point, and it just sat there. So I was like, oh
You're
well,
like, well,
the fates have
Oh,
decided.
speaking of which, Dice, are you going to need D3s? Are you certain?
No, I'm not certain, but I also don't think I need
Because
them.
I can make you D3s.
I don't know of a shape that has 3 sides besides a triangle.
You make them cylindrical, bro.
Don't we technically
Looks
already
like
have
a grain of
D3s?
rice. What? Why would it be peanut shaped? That's a
It looks
circle.
like a grain of rice.
Yeah.
Well, don't we already have
is it
D3s?
a rice
I don't think so. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah, yeah. The white ones.
so. You said yeah.
Oh.
Oh, you're talking about these guys?
Yeah.
Does this count?
I mean,
I mean,
blank 1, 2. Blank 1, 2.
Well, the other 2 could be 3s.
That's what I'm. No,
the
what
other
I'm
twos
saying.
could be threes.
Or
No,
the-
the other
no.
blank sides.
That
could
doesn't
be
work if
3s.
the twos are threes, Dustin.
I don't
The
understand.
blanks. The blanks are 3s.
Are we doing this right now? Are we doing this?
Are we doing anything right now?
All right, so everybody, I apologize for the delayed start.
Shit happens.
I'm trying to get my notes up because I was spending so much time fixing technical difficulties that I didn't get my notes up. I think we had a successful monster hunt. We only died twice total.
Did you guys actually get
it?
Yeah, we killed
We got him fucking twice.
We got him twice, but then he did some things sometimes, and
He got a couple lucky shots. Done
For
what?
you, damn
and
it.
he had the shield.
He
armor.
got fucking one of them at least.
I died like one time.
We have
As
less
a matter
time
of
to play
fact,
today, let's go.
I was killing it. I'm literally waiting for my notes to load.
Talk about the recap.
Not without my notes. My notes have the recap
Stuff
in them.
happened.
Last time there was a
Stuff
magical
happened.
dolphin who told us the story of his family and how they had been ground into caviar. I know that's not how caviar works, but you should see the fish market.
Well, now I gotta delete my fucking new adventure.
And then he turned
Can't
into
make
a
sushi
shark
out of a
because he was a
mammal.
were-dolphin shark.
Oh.
All right, here we go. All right,
You
so
make tartar out of a mammal.
a tartar
Woo.
sauce. All right, so what are the fucking? I'm sorry, everyone. I don't know what's happening anymore. All right, so recap from last game. The party landed at the city of Galarin. Ma and Lucrezia spent the evening outside the gates attempting to coax two griffins they discovered along their path. Zongak spent the evening outside attempting to tame a wild boar. Thea spent the evening gallivanting around town, and Rashid spent the night in the luxury of the inn. The next morning started with some excitement. A small band of Galarin guards arrived at the inn and escorted Lady Birrell to the keep for better accommodations. Theda and Rashid followed behind and got to meet the Duke of Galarin, Rufus Kellington, and his wife, the Duchess of Breakfast.
We talked to a sketch artist.
You did.
The Duchess of Breakfast.
At breakfast, the Duke arrived late and informed Lady Birrell that in his battle planning he could spare roughly 20 guards to escort her to her home city. In the meantime, he asked the adventurers... in the meantime, and with adventures in his midst, he requested that they take some time to investigate a ghost ship that's been menacing the harbor and kind of upsetting the
Nice.
remaining local populace as the younger and the more experienced are out preparing for war.
I forgot to ask.
See.
Is the ghost ship doing anything?
It just keeps coming in the harbor,
And being
What's it?
ghostly.
and then it leaves.
Does it disrupt the fishing?
See. It's ghostly.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's bothering the people.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
that's
We
for
just
sure.
know that some people disappeared when they went out to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
uh,
some people, but that's like if there was a shark and you went to
Oh.
fight it.
It didn't.
You know, I'm wondering if it actually does anything. Yeah, that's not mine.
Well, I mean, it's
Maybe you do,
ghostly.
maybe you don't. They did also say that they
Actually,
swept
you
it.
wanna try mine?
Spooky.
They said that they swept it and that nothing was found.
And they sent more idiots out to it.
No, the second group was by themselves. They were just a little bit.
Never return.
They were all excited about doing stuff and got a little ahead of themselves.
Kind of like an adventurer.
Yeah.
I always retired.
No, it was hot.
Mostly books to the library.
One of these days when I'm a braver DM, we'll actually have like one of those.
Dongles.
We'll have like a haunted adventure that turns out to be like one of the local farmers.
Oh, it's Scooby-Doo Adventure Time.
Oh,
Whoa,
Mr.
whoa, whoa,
Jenkins!
Oh, trademark.
But see, the problem is we're gonna put a sword
Yeah.
through his throat.
You're gonna stab him and then you'll be like, ah! All
I
right,
was
so
just up to some hijinks.
that is where we ended. When we ended the last session,
You were only supposed to subdue me with a stupid trap.
Non-lethal damage.
when we left off, Zongek, Ma, and Lucrezia were heading to the blacksmith. Theta and Rashid, you guys were exiting the keep, I believe, heading out
I
for the morning
German.
to shenanigans around for the afternoon.
Please do that to people.
Bleed on your dice.
And for the sake of convenience, Mr. Rashid will have returned to the inn.
He
with
got
stomach
tired.
Smoking
It's
a
a lot of
cigar on
walking
his
for
bed.
him
Sure
stomach
in his evil
cramps.
state.
is. Just getting a smoking a G,
He has IBS.
Just messing up the
Yeah.
straw.
right? Tearing it up. All right.
It's the diarrhea bounce back.
What is
It's
going
not
on
lethal
over
damage,
there?
it's not lethal damage.
It's just fucking. Oh,
All right, what are you guys doing?
We were still buying supplies, me and Maul, and we were about to go.
Why are we going to the blacksmith?
I forget
For
what.
I was looking for hoodlums and there weren't any.
Pickaxes and
That's right. That was the
Traps.
night before, though.
And hunting
Yeah.
traps, yeah.
and a shovel.
Oh, that's right. What have I done? Where'd I go?
You were talking to the sketch artist and stuff.
And then you,
left.
then you left out of the keep. That was the end. As you guys walked out of the keep.
You were looking for ne'er-do-wells.
No, that was
That
last night.
That was the night before.
Well,
I-
we were talking to the Duke about the ship.
Oh, I gotta go
You
to the
asked me to
butcher's.
run it down.
Yeah, that's I wrote that
Yes.
down.
And then that was the last thing we did, I think. Then we were gonna go out and do stuff.
Yeah, but I was gonna go do something. I don't know.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, I don't know.
Blacksmith.
Yeah,
And then butcher.
data.
Blacksmith and then butcher.
See, baby.
Oh, yeah, butcher.
How much is the butcher?
Well, it depends on how much you can bench.
Butch.
The butcher benches
So,
bunches.
you meander throughout town using some of the directions that you received from Griselda, and a bit of adjustments considering she's old and probably didn't give you the right area. And you ultimately find yourself into a blackened roof looking building. The chimney is currently active. There's a little bit of heat coming from it as the morning rises up. The door is slightly ajar, letting a brief breeze inside. And upon entering, you are greeted by a surprisingly empty shop. Right now, it seems like most of the weapons, what remains of weapons, are currently, what you can see are
Gone.
not gone. They're just the lower end quality ones. It seems like the shelves are mostly cleared out along the walls. The little racks have all been sort of like pillaged in a way. There's no armor in the shop at all. However, you do see as you walk in, there's only one person currently in the shop, and it seems to be a younger woman, maybe in her 20s. She's wearing a blacksmith's apron. She has her hair is all tied into like a tight bun, and she has a bandana over it. She has these thick-looking gloves she has pulled on, and she's currently stoking the fire. Oh my goodness, Rocco! Thanks so much for the host, buddy. Are you hanging out, or are you just drive by? She seems to be busy at work trying to stoke the forge, getting it ready for the morning.
Mm-hmm.
As the three of you enter, that is what you are greeted by.
Well, I'll rap on the door just to get her attention so she knows we're here.
She like perks up and then
Are you open
Oh,
for business?
yeah, and she like drops the drops like the little bellows down, and then she like comes over to the counter. Yes.
We're looking for some hunting traps, shovels, and pickaxes. We're not sure. Would I have seen that walking?
You do see things like shovels, hammers,
Okay.
pickaxes, pitchforks,
All right.
forks.
And a mallet.
A mallet?
One side and then a
What's
pole.
the mallet
One
for?
side.
You suggested mallet. I forget what it's for.
I believe that's called a
Tense.
reverse hoe.
A reverse hoe.
We have the
Well, all right. Hold on. DM question.
Yes.
Would a 2-person tent kit presumably come with everything needed to set
Yes.
up?
A small hammer to
Oh, you
hammer
love
it.
hammer? Because I
Yeah.
thought it was just the little pins you said there wasn't anything to
Those are called stakes.
Steak.
Stakes. I mean, I would assume that add all the necessary components.
Okay.
If not, you have a hammer.
Okay, so.
You have an actual hammer.
You have an actual hammer. You
Yeah,
just-
you actually have a hammer.
Well,
too.
yeah, but.
Yeah, you have a hammer. Why are you looking for a mallet?
Why use it like that?
All right, Lou,
I
if-
can,
It's
but
a holy
I don't think
pursuit.
it's dangerous.
It's not
Or I
gonna do
don't
anything.
think it's very safe to do.
It is.
If you want to get the stuff, I'll pay.
It's fully functional.
Maybe pay the woman.
Yeah, but I'm not. So-
That you know.
I
Uh,
mean, yeah, we'd like to get 2 pickaxes, a shovel, and some hunting traps. 2, preferably.
She like.
And a trash can. I
Yeah.
finished my
Help yourself.
Well,
lollipop.
how much? I'll pay you. We'll grab them and take off and leave you to re-stoke your forge.
I'm just gonna leave this here then.
I watch you, but I don't say anything.
What was the player's handbook?
I don't.
I
There
don't
it is.
know.
You
There you
do.
go. Do some math, sir.
Sweet.
Put your shopping list together.
But as you're kind of walking around like gathering things, she's like staring at you,
You put a lollipop.
and then she stares at.
He put a
you.
lollipop sticks somewhere.
Oh no, okay.
Just-
And she's like.
Question.
Where are you guys from?
What I know about him,
What about
would
him?
he be able to stoke her forge in the most non-sexual way possible?
Would he be?
Yeah, I mean,
He could help.
It's
yeah,
been stoked.
Well, can he black?
I meant just by the fact
Oh.
that he's fiery.
No,
All
his
right.
fire is gone now.
Fair enough.
Well, could he rage the forge? Could he sit in the forge and rage?
Rage
He
forge!
would just burn himself. He would be on fire and producing flames. As
But a rage forge would be pretty tight.
Yeah, dude, that would be awesome to have a
I
forge
d-
built off.
I don't
somebody who's
think she
flaming
wants a
rage
force that's
monster.
angry at her.
Rage has to sit there and be mad.
It's the fire from Howl's Moving Castle. It's like,
I have a
feed
very
me.
tiny
I just see
dragon.
a dwarf, just like a dwarf dwarf barbarian sitting there like, I just have to be mad all the time, just hitting himself in the face for
Yeah.
non-lethal damage.
"Argh."
Keep this going.
I have
Um,
a
A high
very
enough level to make it.
I'm
float.
from the Alabrin Mountains. Mount Hole. Cave. That one.
Palabra.
She's like watching like as 3 uniquely dressed individuals, very different in styles and appearance. She's like, "Are you
Don't look
are
at
you
my
adventurers?
nipples.
Are you?
Yeah.
What brings you here?"
We brought
Ghost ship.
a Baroness here.
And that.
Baroness.
Yes.
That's cool. And we needed a refuel, resupply, so we came here.
Yep, we
So-
had to put a hose into the horses.
But you adventure. You like go into caves and fight
Yeah.
monsters.
We haven't gone
Not
into
yet.
but yeah.
I've gone
like
into
that.
a cave and killed a
He's gone.
half man,
I've
half
gone into a cave.
shadow thing.
Oh, I guess technically we have gone in caves, haven't we?
Okay.
The underwater one.
Yeah,
You weren't there. Never mind.
And then there's also
Oh, I
the
know.
Gigi cave that's full of pokiness.
I haven't gone there. Yeah, I guess we've been in a couple caves. Oh, and the thing
You
with
were-
the ugly
You were
Grimlocks.
almost permanently in a
I
cave.
was. I've almost been
Then
in
we
a
went
couple
into the
caves.
underground cave under the water.
Yeah, that one.
Well, do you think you'd be able to help me with
Yes.
with some stuff?
What do you mean?
Maybe.
Well, my I haven't seen my father in a long time, but it's not really like a mystery. I just really want to know where he's gone. The
Sorry, I didn't know this is like baby daddy drama or some shit.
no, like her father.
Local
Yeah, but
creature.
like,
Her
I don't
dad.
know. My father left when I was 3. Can you
No,
find-
he was commissioned by the Duke to make an armor set, and for whatever reason, the Duke wouldn't let him make it here. And I haven't seen him since. And every time I go to the keep, they won't let me in. They won't let me find out. They won't let me talk to him. He's been gone for like a couple months
So
now.
He's making the armor in the keep, you think?
I imagine that's where he went to go meet with the Duke, and then he came back here and collected his tools. He said it was an honor.
Huh?
How much money do you
What's your dad's name?
Endon?
Endon?
Yes.
A
And then
lot.
The
It's
E or
gold,
T?
right?
Yep, that's
ENDN.
227 gold.
Oh, I
Can we
heard
get
Dendon.
16 of that?
Dendon.
Dun dun. It's a law and order noise.
Endon Gickmore.
Here you go, sir.
His last
Get
name.
more?
Gickmore.
Just stick your hand in.
Good, not a
Take as much as you need.
Oh, I'm going to pick out 16
That's his daughter's
and put it down.
No.
She takes it, and she's like, I mean, we don't. He has all the stuff for the stores. I don't really have much money, but I'm a good blacksmith. I can make you guys stuff if you.
Well, absolutely. We'll look into it. One of our companions is already there. What kind of armor was he making, though? I understand that the larger and more metal in it, it takes much longer to make than.
I mean, an average set of armor takes us maybe like a couple months to make plate mail. I'm assuming it's plate mail. He's been
Right.
gone forever. It's been months, and I haven't seen him, and I go to check on him, and they won't let me in. So
We'll see if our friends, if we can get in. At the very least, we have an No, I don't know that yet. Disregard.
We have the Baroness.
Well, yeah, but I'm not with the Baroness right
We
now.
all are.
I just realized I'm still standing there with a boar.
Oh yeah. I kind of get closer to the wall. Why don't we, instead of like having her give us money, just get this stuff for free that we were gonna pay for?
We can't accept a reward up front. And I mean, it's neglectable. Have you seen how much gold he has?
No. We don't want gold.
He's very, very wealthy.
Balling out of control.
Little goblin right now.
I'm the richest
Or-
goblin in the world.
Hey, do you have any connection with the butcher?
the butcher, she's trying to think.
And
of
the
his name.
candlestick maker.
No,
Well, are you
okay.
going to the
You
butcher
pull
in
me
the?
away.
Yeah, I'm pulling you back into our little huddle. Listen, Lou.
You look nice.
He could be dead.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Okay.
We don't even know if we can find anything out.
Okay.
So until we find something out, we'll
Well,
just
she's worried about payments. So
we're gonna do it pro bono.
Can I just ask her?
Did-
And then we'll talk about
Did you guys try the? Did you
We
guys try
can-
the meat stall?
We can get.
Haven't yet.
I'm wondering
I
if
need
she
to
can
get
talk to
meat
the
for
butcher.
pig.
Oh, well, I would try there's a meat salesman, and he has a stall out
But like,
in
I'm
the center.
wondering if
The
she
hunters.
knows the butcher.
Well, yeah, but she can't get us. I don't want to accept a reward, even if it's her getting us a
now.
discount at the butcher, until we do it. We can
Yeah,
discuss.
Not right now when we get back.
Right,
I'm
but
saying,
we can
like,
discuss
I don't
what
think
we're gonna
we
get.
can-
We can discuss what we're going to get from her after we confirm any information
I
about her
just want
death.
to know if she can get us like something good first, instead of coming back and being like, oh, I don't have anything to offer.
Well, even if that's the case, we can definitely at least get armor repairs.
We're not
Data
gonna do
uses
that.
daggers like
Clinking the coins on the counter, like
they're free trade.
So you don't want to talk about it all.
Do you have any
Right.
lightweight shoulder things?
Alright.
pauldrons.
Yeah.
That's mine.
I could make one if
Could
You
you
don't
attach
want
this
so.
to it? And I hold up the deer
So we could ask Zongak, have him be the tiebreaker.
she takes it from you.
He doesn't care.
If you
Yeah.
can find out what happened to my father, I'd be
He's
happy to make
rich.
it for you for free.
Okay.
I do
Thank
good
you.
work. I promise. What happened?
See if I Alright. I'm not gonna choke you right now.
You can if you want, but
What's going on? What
I would advise against it.
I don't know how thick your
Did
neck
you not
is.
hear their conversation? They were literally talking. She was like, maybe we can get some of this shit for free if we save her father or find out what happened to her father. And he's like, I don't want to accept a reward up front for payment, right? This was,
And
and they're
as soon
literally
as
going back and forth for it, and then you just over
As
that.
soon as we're done,
Yes.
you're like, yeah, I'll get this to you for free if you find my father. I'm like,
No, she's talking about the pauldron.
Yeah.
yeah. No,
She was offering custom work
Yeah.
if you find it.
Yeah,
Custom work.
Yeah.
yeah.
I wanted to see what else though.
Well, that's fine. Ask away. Ask the
Well,
question.
he's saying no, so.
Yeah, but
He's
I'm
not
not your
you.
dad.
Yeah, but you're part of the party.
I'm giving you my input.
And there you go.
Here, Piggy,
We'll
have
figure
some
it out
water.
when we get back.
Ham hock. Drink.
Drink,
like-
ham hock, drink.
I'll pour it down your nose.
Is that your pig drinking sound?
That's it.
That's how they drink beer. Where's the free moral? Oh
All right, so you grab your stuff, you pay.
We'll
Um,
we'll
no.
look
Yeah,
into
teach it wood.
this issue with your father, and we'll discuss whatever manner afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
Let's go. I can't see straight right now.
Squinting at you so hard. All right, so you guys head out. You guys are gonna go get some
You
meat.
never can.
I can see you.
What are you
quite
doing,
well.
sir?
You're talking to the
So, ghost ship, right? I want to see if there's a vantage point from which I can view the harbor.
a vantage point view of the harbor. The closest vantage point there, you can look through arrow slits.
Okay.
That's the best thing you'd be able to do.
Fine.
He's only got one eye, so it's fine.
Without being on the, unless you could actually request to use the balcony, the Duke's
Oh,
balcony.
I would like to do that.
Okay, so you stop in the
Yeah.
stop at the stairs and then you turn back around, head back up.
Hello.
You notice a couple of the hands are currently moving about. You don't see anybody of any prominence moving around, just in the open area, because you remember they keep the doors open in like sort of this dramatic fashion up to the top. But stopping and asking one of the assistants, they nod and then they go off and you kind of hang out for a minute, and then come back and they're like, oh, the Duke said you can head out, and they escort you basically around the like the main like throne chamber kind of area. They lead you around it to this wraparound balcony that extends far over, and you realize that like most of the keep is kind of at like this weird angle over the cliff, like built.
So I'm jutting out further.
Yeah, but it gives you a beautiful view of not only the ocean but the sand below, the entire cliff face. You can see on the basically as you walk out onto it, you're just greeted by like open sky. The left-hand side is where the continuation of the cliff goes, obviously. And as you kind of follow it down, you actually see almost like a smaller, more condensed city. That's
the port city.
the port side, yeah. There are long docks that extend out, these like stone sort of these stone worked almost like tributaries that have been built over the water themselves and like end in posts, like they've tried to extend the city into the water a little bit and then build the docks out. You notice that there's like maybe 3 vessels in the harbor, one that looks like an actual sailing vessel, the other one seemed like smaller like fishing vessels that probably are manned by small crews. It's a beautiful afternoon, and if you look straight down, you just see probably about 200 feet straight down.
And no water. Right?
Not below you, no. It goes into sand for actually quite some time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what you see.
Oh, for those of you that want to know what I asked Sandy, it was, I have a horn from the lizard man. How do they blow it if they don't have lips?
Like this.
I just imagine you wrap your mouth around it and go into it.
What comes out is all.
They stick it all the way down their throat.
I'll carry one.
That's the sound you actually hear. It's choking.
All right,
Luke,
so
Luke, one hunting trap to you.
Okay.
Do you want the shovel too?
Yeah.
And I'll take a hunting trap and a pickaxe.
Do we want to use it? Did you already pay for this or no?
yeah.
Oh, I was going to use some of Ron's gold so you
Pocket it.
get the stuff. So I get a trap and a shovel.
I'm just gonna enjoy the view for a minute. I'm
Okay.
just gonna look around. I'm gonna take a couple minutes here to just.
Introspection.
I might even translate for a bit if I'm.
Okay. Just,
What time is it?
it's probably like
It's always transit.
early afternoon, probably around noon, 11, 12ish.
You want to get trans?
I think I'm just gonna zone out on that falcon. I think I'm gonna take Sprocket out and just enjoy the view, so he can enjoy the view as well.
Anything you want to look for specifically?
I kind of want to look at how often the ships move and if if I can see the way down there.
The pathway down?
Yeah.
Heading over to that edge and looking, you see that there does seem to be a rather treacherous switchback style path that works its way down. It seems very well used, but narrow pathway that you go down. Doesn't seem to be currently being used. No one seems to be coming in or out.
Does that city look more lively than this one?
No.
No.
It's like a dense population of homes, but then it tapers out way faster than the city above you, and it doesn't seem to have any sort of like fortification, almost like
It's just, we're here.
yeah, and then you're basically expected to run from there. But as the sailing vessels get ready to go out and start like fishing, they head out. The 2 smaller vessels and the one just stays in the harbor. You do see, the galleon style ship holds about like 100 and some people, and it takes like 80 of them to run it. So there are people moving around down there. They seem to be like battening down the hatches, and then they like move off the ship and on the ship, and there's like a decent group there that seems to be moving around, but you can't get any good read. You see the pathway seems to be like on the other side of some thickets, probably only maybe like 400 feet from the town, like from the edge of the town you're currently in, 400 feet along the edge, and then you all the way down. If you look straight down, you can see the private wall that makes up the private section of the beach that you imagine that they've mentioned for the Duke. You can see that. Yeah.
I don't think we here for the whole like ghost ship? Hey,
Mm.
yeah, okay. I just remember that.
Yeah.
So we're out like
Yeah.
gathering supplies.
I
Yeah.
was gonna tell the lady, and then I recalled I don't know any of that shit.
Yeah.
We know about the ghost ship.
No, you know about the ghost ship.
Oh.
They didn't come in.
No.
Oh.
We were gathering stuff.
So,
Wait, the ghost ship did tell, or the lady, the Griselda.
Oh,
told
yeah,
Zonga
old lady.
And Maul
Yeah.
about the
Ghost
ghost
shippy
ship.
things.
so she told you guys
Yeah,
about
but
it.
we don't know that we've already been tasked.
Yeah, you've already
Yeah.
been. You've already
Or
accepted that.
We're not
Yeah.
traveling away.
All right.
Still.
So,
Oh yeah, we're heading on to the next
Yeah, so that's.
so
yeah.
you gonna trance out there? Anything
Yeah.
else you want to look for before?
Anything untoward on the beach, but other than that, like any kind of indigenous life looks dangerous.
Make
or
a-
any evil people.
Investigation check, please.
Well, you see somebody tying a young woman to a train track on the
Probably
beach.
not.
Or
10.
me.
10. Looking around, at least not this time. some guy with a mustache chasing her along the beach. No.
He's like 8 foot.
The private section
tall,
of the beach seems
really
empty.
long legs.
Over by the town, no one
Something
seems to be like rough and tumble fighting or nothing like that. Just seems to be people working. But even then, like with the slow movement of some of the little tiny specks you're looking at, you get the sense that they're probably old people too down there as well. Except the people on the ship are pretty lively. So that is what you see. You trance out there. You three head to the butcher. You guys grab some food. How much meat are we getting?
Do that right now.
Nah, we'll pick it
I
up
get
before
10
we
pounds of meat,
10 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
and I give
Was it like 2 silver per pound or some
Are
shit?
we on?
10
guess.
gold.
Something like that, yeah.
There's a thing for this. Wait. Oh.
It's all good.
3 silver per pound, so 30 silver, so 3 gold.
What?
How about we ask, how much do you want to give? Do you want 10 pounds or do you want 10 golds worth of meat? Because those are going to be different amounts. Do you want more meat or less meat?
Today on Sesame Street, we teach Zonga about
We're getting
Prices.
through.
Meat math.
meat math.
His head explodes.
What?
Do you want, Zongak, do you want a lot of meat
Today's word of the day
or just a
is
little meat?
What?
Ooh.
I want however much could fit in this bag.
How big is the bag?
It's the backpack that I got from Griselda.
Meat bag.
It's like a 25-gallon bag or some shit like that.
Okay, I want 25 pounds of
Let's
meat.
see how much, because they
How
have
many
a thing
pounds of
for
meat in a
how
gallon?
how many. Oh, that's a fucking question.
How
isn't
many
it?
meats in the gallon?
How many meats? Yeah, right. It's just like you disgust me.
No, she showed me a myth from the internet. It says it takes 2,400 gallons of water to make a pound of beef. That's wrong, apparently.
Well, I mean, a 10
All
gallon
right,
hat
so
doesn't hold 10
backpack
gallons. Yeah.
can hold 30 pounds of equipment.
All right.
So
My
30
friend-
pounds of meat is all I can fit.
My friend Miss Smoke, could we get 10 golds worth, or at least enough to fit in the sack? I imagine the sack's about 25, 30 pounds.
Oh, doesn't Lou and you need
10,
stuff?
10 pounds is 3 gold, so 369. So that's 30
There you
pounds
go.
right there. So 9 gold, 30 pounds.
Okay, I take
9
10
gold.
pounds and stuff it into my bag.
And then the other ones take 10 pounds.
Here's
No.
your change.
I want gold.
It's all for him.
No, he just said he'd only take 10 pounds.
Well, I mean, that's a very big bag. Do you want to put all of it in there, and we'll just sort it out as we need it?
Okay.
Ah, surprisingly heavy. Hold on, sorry, I need to get my taming thing out really quick. So I can verify how much meat you actually need for
That bowl.
the boar. Yeah,
Well, I think the bigger question is how long is this meat going to keep?
not that long.
Yeah.
Well, a couple, maybe
Pigs
like
eat
a day or
rotten
two.
stuff.
Yeah.
Let's just
Say a special bag.
I tried eating pig slop once.
Someday.
Gave me the runs.
Maybe I can walk him.
Okay, if you want to write this down, the boar requires 1 pound of meat per day, or 1 pound of food per day. If you guys want to write this down, the
4
griffin
pounds per
requires 4 pounds
Yeah.
per day, and 4 gallons of water. But right now, you also need to provide it a gallon of water a day. They don't because they're not with you. They're gonna be doing their own thing.
If they rely solely on us. then
Once they start relying on you solely, then yes, you will have to provide 4
you
gallons.
will owe
of
it water.
You will owe it water. That's a fact.
Okay. So now what do we do?
Well, we can either attempt to get this meat set up in such a way that it'll last as long as possible,
Mhm.
or
Should we ask the butcher though?
How much for salt?
Will it eat salted meat?
no. Well, yeah, I mean it's fucking meat.
about 9 pounds of meat to a gallon.
Nice.
Gross math.
That's
I can't
gross,
believe that I
man.
found a calculator that does this online.
Nice.
Are you
Serial
really-
killers need the info.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I'd like to ask the
Easy
butcher.
way.
Sir, do you
How much blood in
know
the human body?
how we can keep. I know if
How
we
much?
cook this meat, it'll last a little bit longer. But is there a way to keep it
Better, keep cold.
Yeah.
Or
Well, not cold.
Sawdust and ice. If you buy ice and then sawdust.
No, I don't measure.
ice and sawdust?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
5 minutes. You don't have that calculator.
Salt curing can also work as well.
I imagine salt's gonna be way more expensive than sawdust.
Salt is expensive because it is important for things. Are any of you proficient, the three of you, in nature or
At all.
nature
Or
or animal handling?
no.
Yes.
In which one?
Nature.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought for a
It's only
second I had
natural.
animal handling too. I do not. Just nature.
Maybe
Just
one of it.
nature.
Maybe it's guy.
You're the only one.
Ooh.
Yep. It seems that way.
Yeah, I have 4 skills,
You have animal
Only-
slapping.
and only one's good.
Yeah, so I wrote numbers in here, and apparently this thing thought fucking that meant dates.
Yeah.
What a fucking stupid program. Anyway, all right. So what are you guys doing? What's the plan? You guys got your food?
Yeah.
So now we
Some
gotta go
meats.
find the
Wait, we're meat
the lady with a hammer.
raw
Oh, okay.
knows Ray of Frost.
Yep.
I think I've talked about this before. I don't know that it.
Yeah, they have to do it over a long period of time, and hopefully it doesn't melt.
I think I talked
keep
about
doing it.
freezing
Yeah,
something.
it's fine. It's a cantrip.
I feel like control
I
water
see,
would be
yeah.
better.
Probably, but I know.
So
that-
shall we
No,
go
I-
find Data and the rest of them?
Yes.
Yeah. We
Okay.
have to go to the beach.
What?
Go to the beach before we go.
Oh yeah, but we're
Well,
just
I'm gonna go
get-
find a ghost ship
Oh. You gonna be there now?
sometime.
It's not gonna come out until dark. It's not good.
Yeah.
Did anybody come bother me on this balcony?
Occasionally, the attendant walks out and kind of like,
Are you still alive?
and then goes back in, and then he comes back out.
I'm a machine, so I don't breathe or need to blink or anything.
It's
So I'm
He's,
just
he's
standing
coming
there,
in.
slowly petting. a
How
dead
long are
mouse.
you hanging out there for?
4 hours.
4 hours. Okay.
Is
Yeah,
the
he comes
castle
back
near
every
the
like
beach?
hour, so check on you.
Is the castle near the beach?
Mm-mm.
Yes,
It's over there.
technically.
Milo?
I look over that way. Is the castle near the
Laterally,
beach?
yes.
Yeah. It's just
Vertically.
like 200 feet above it.
So we could sit. So I'm good down there by the castle and like, cause we're gonna go there anyway, right?
Well, let's just get our friends and see what's up. The Baroness might want to stay another day. She has been through quite a bit, and if she decides to stay, we can run down to the beach and have some fun.
Didn't you go to the castle?
Yes, that's where we're going.
Yeah, so we can park him by it.
Why?
So you can, cause you wanted to look at the ghost ship or look for it, right?
It doesn't come until night.
It's a ghost ship.
I thought it didn't matter. Okay.
Ooh!
You guys going to the keep?
Yeah,
You're-
That's
you're
plan.
here.
Okay, so you guys regroup at the keep. I will say that as you approach, we're stopped temporarily
Mhm.
until somebody notices or associates the group. At which point, one of the attendants runs inside. You wait outside. They come back out, allowing you entrance into the keep itself. Once inside, you're brought inside basically the center chambers. It seems like the each floor is built almost like slightly above, like 2 or 3 steps up from the previous one. So as you go in further and further in, it gets taller and taller almost. All doors are currently pinned open, but all side doors are closed to you. But as you walk through the main chamber, you can see up at the very top is basically what looks like a throne room. Center, this fucking throne, and there's a large stained glass window with no discernible like pattern on it. It's not like it's just for the coloration.
For the sake of I guess storytelling,
Mhm.
when the attendants come to take us in, I just want to point out to them, we're not here to see any. We're just here to collect our tiny little circular friend and the Baroness if she's ready to go. I don't want them leading me into the dupe to an audience because I'm not here to see him.
So as you go in, you head all the way up to the.
Disrespectful.
You're basically brought all the way up to the throne area, into sort of like the meeting chamber. At which point, one of the attendants comes out to you. And he's like, "Your friends are here."
Oh. Take. Nice. Let's rock it away.
Go out. He leads you inside. You obviously see them as soon as you enter. Everyone's kind of like
Oh.
standing around. At which point, Lady Black Mountain.
I mean, I don't know.
Black
she's
Mountain's got it.
she comes in from one of the side rooms.
Big mountains.
She's still like kind of like looking around at everything, kind of confused. But as she comes in, she's like, "You were looking for me?"
Yes, milady. When would you like to depart?
I've spoken with them, and we will be leaving probably today at some point.
Oh,
Okay,
Oh.
fantastic. I guess we won't be going to the beach then.
Yeah.
We'll hit it on the way back.
Well, we've already kind of agreed that.
We're not going.
Oh,
I'm not going.
oh,
No, she's got guards, like real guards.
oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well then,
Duke Man King said that he had a bunch to spare. He had a score of them that he wasn't using. So he said, why not?
fair enough.
And we're pretty sure it's not a political attempt to kill her in transit.
Okay,
Oh.
that's what I was worried about.
I asked.
Thank you.
That's a lot. Well then, it has been a pleasure, ma'am. And I hope that despite the terrible things that happened,
So are we getting paid now then?
You
Back
when
at
I
the
return,
guild.
I will send a messenger to have the money shipped to Alavra,
Okay.
to the Adventurers
We
Guild.
thought it would be best if it went back to Alava and not here in case we had left or
So
died.
the per diem stopped today.
Yes.
For like 27 days.
But I didn't know if we would be getting paid.
We'll need-
like,
right?
per diem for the
I feel like we should. I feel like I should talk to you about
No pooping in
Yeah.
here, Ham Hawk.
tact.
There's no tax.
Wait until we get outside.
She kind of just stands there for a minute.
Well then, I apologize for disturbing you. Please enjoy the rest of your trip.
I need to find the daughter of the blacksmith.
Oh,
I need to
yeah,
find a
right
blacksmith.
here.
Apparently he's here. Where's the guy that was here earlier?
There's an attendant, and I'm going to walk over to the nearest attendant and
Mhm.
grab him by the arm,
Oh,
and then come here.
oh my.
And I'm just going to bring him over to our group. Ask.
Excuse
They're
me,
helpful.
sir.
Oh.
He's like,
Do you know anything about a blacksmith coming to the keep here, making some armor?
A special set.
there's
for
we have
the
lots of people come in and out. I'd have to check our guest logs.
Would you mind?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
his
I told you they're
daughter,
helpful.
Yeah,
his
exactly.
daughter has been crying for like 3 months.
Oh.
He exits out. And then,
Unmoved by her plight.
right.
Indifferent.
She's been sitting on tax.
As you all kind of like stand around,
There's a gorgeous view up there. Wrap around balcony. It's
Or is it on
very-
pins and needles? I'm
Oh.
confused.
She's yes, pins and needles.
I'll take
She's
it.
worried.
All right.
I'm taking
gonna
her to the
go look at
balcony.
balcony.
Okay. Lady Black Mountain stays with you guys. After a few moments,
I'll look
the
at the balcony, Lady Black Mountain.
comes along as well.
Cards follow or anything, or is it
No,
just-
Where are
as
the
the
cards?
Sorry.
as the attendant returns, he notices the group is slightly sparser than it was before. At which point he's like, yes, he seems to be commissioned to work to do some work. It says
Is there any way we could perhaps talk to him, or just?
that's not up to me.
Oh.
Be up to him, and
Oh,
Would
Well-
he mind? Could you relay a message to him at least?
I don't know. He's not in the keep. I don't know
Oh.
where he is. I'd
So
have to
he's-
speak with the Duke.
He's departed the
Oh.
keep.
I assume so.
I see.
I'd have to ask the Lord about that.
Alright.
Perhaps.
if I could speak with the Duke, I would appreciate it.
Say what?
Said if I could speak to the Duke, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, and then he nods and he heads out.
What's the Duke?
It's like a king.
Oh.
Only he's like
Well, I'll put on
King-
my fancy hat.
just below that.
Hey, what's on the beach right now?
Kick-ass Duke.
In front of it? In front of you?
Like, is there any
On
like
the
people
balcony,
in there?
just-
If you're looking at the private beach,
Yeah.
nothing.
Okay.
There's like it's basically they've walled off two sides of it, and it's slightly larger than the keep itself, so it's like just slightly more obnoxious than it needed to be. But they have two basically stone walls that taper down towards the waterfront and actually kind of extend just like almost like a little bit into the water, but it's blocked off for their private use, you assume.
Okay.
It's for all the skinny dipping and stuff, you know. You just can't be.
Sexy parties.
He works out on the beach. It's like California.
And his wife just nude sunbathes out there.
Yeah.
'Cause nobody's got advantage.
So, after a few moments, the attendant returns. He opens the door. He announces, Duke Kellington. And the Duke comes in, like,
Oh.
full physicality. Kind of like his, like,
Dongak of the cave and Ma of the desert
I
place.
would like to come in now from the beach.
Okay.
We can head back into the balcony.
So for you guys that have just seen him, he is probably about 6'2", solid, like 225, 250, where he has this like dense muscle structure. He's currently wearing like this large overcoat, military like style.
He works out on the beach. I got it.
Yeah. He has all of his hair seems to be pushed back. It's all like black with like a little bit hint of like some white coming in. He has this like resting bitch face that kind of like he just almost like dead eyes with like a pursed sort of mouth, but strong features, wide like kind of like that wide forehead and that like block sort of face. And he just kind of like.
Well, Lord, firstly, I apologize for disturbing whatever you were doing. I understand that you've offered to have Lady Black Mountain escorted back, and I thank you for that. Very quick question, sir. Are you aware of a local blacksmith? I suppose he came and was commissioned to make some armor. His family is a bit worried. They haven't seen him in several months. And I'm sure he's just working here, probably in the keep. If we could just ensure that he's all right, we could let his family know.
He is not working here currently. I have him out, not only collecting materials with some of my guards, but also manufacturing a suit of armor for myself.
Of course.
I'm not sure how familiar you are with the construction of plate mail, but it takes a considerable amount of time. So she may have to wait slightly longer, but unfortunately she cannot be allowed in the keep.
I understand.
And he's not here currently. So.
I assumed as much. I mean, crafting armor for a duke would be considerably more than any regular blacksmith would do. But I just wanted to ask. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You want a weapon to go with your armor? And I pull out one of the lizard man axes. Got this from a lizard man.
Trophy of an enemy. Imposing.
At which point he looks to the attendant, and the attendant comes up and takes it, and he's like, bring that to the artist and have our people look at it.
I have more.
The one will be fine, thank you.
I also have a horn.
How do they use that without lips? No.
Interesting.
He takes it and kind of like mulls it over for a minute. There's like big hands, and he's just like, no, you can take this. I think we have plenty of signal horns. I think it doesn't seem to be any strange construction, I guess.
Are you seeking information about the lizard men?
Yes. Any information that you can gather is appreciated.
I know about the newts.
Newts.
Out of
They're on fire.
fire newts. Out of curiosity, out of character. This. Am I able to kind of guess why it happened, or is it just like, oh man, I got chlamydia?
I think by now you've kind of figured out that that's a thing that happened.
All right. Well then, sir, is there anyone you or an attendant that I could speak to personally? I think I have some information that might turn out to be quite useful.
You can speak with our. We have an artist that has been doing mock-ups and taking notes.
He's pretty good.
Oh, then if I may,
Look,
I can
this
take the
picture.
axe with me to him.
I'm going to take out the picture of Elvin.
Oh, Elvin.
Oh. Nicely done, Theta.
Yeah.
Well,
I said it, he wrote it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
wrote with picture.
His idea, though.
That, yeah.
Yes. Please just follow the attendant,
Yes.
and
Alright.
they'll take you. Which
Oh.
one?
Why is the blacksmith doing the armor here and not back at his own smithery?
If I may, I'll just impart to her when she comes in what I learned directly from him. I don't want him to like have to.
Did he tell you that?
Yeah.
Why the?
Well, not why he did it here specifically, but he said he's out gathering
Yeah, yeah.
materials
Oh, okay.
and all that
Oh.
shit. So
I asked this guy.
He kind of looks at you for a minute. That kind of like dead expression, and he's just like, the work is going to be imparted with some gift of magic. So I would be remiss to leave it on display in front of the whole town for any enemy or even insider threat to gain access into its properties prior to its construction.
Is he wearing a ring?
Yes, he is.
That's it.
Now then, thank you once
Oh,
again.
Inside that, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
his face is dead.
Yeah, right? It's gonna be extra hard. 11.
11. I mean, he's hard to read, but for the most part, he doesn't seem to be giving you any reason to discount what he's saying.
Oh, he's talking. Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Now then,
Oh, thanks
thank you for your time.
Again, for
Thank you.
taking Black Mountain back.
Certainly.
You have a nice day and enjoy your lizard axe.
Thank you. And then he sees himself out. The door is open for him. The attendant remains.
As you're like leaving, I'll be like, do you want me to go tell the blacksmith's daughter myself?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, you head out.
Yeah.
Before
No,
you
we
go, Lady Black Mountain's like, excuse me.
Oh.
Could you
Yeah.
wait a moment? You're let out. She kind of pulls you off to the side,
Okay.
and then she's like, all this talk of murder on the road is a bit scary. And she reaches behind her, and you can hear that of her hammer coming off, and she's like, could I ask you to take this back to Alavra with you? And then when I send for it, just send it back to me, or I'll send someone to collect it. I'm worried about a family.
I see this happening.
Yeah, I'm worried about a family heirloom being.
You use this though, right? You know it's family heirloom.
Yes, but with 20 retainers, I'm assuming that I shouldn't need to be involved in the fray, and it's quite personal to me. So I'm concerned about its loss. It does have significant value to myself and my family.
So just keep it on me.
You can use it if you wish. You can.
Yes, I was gonna ask that.
Okay.
I was gonna be straightforward.
She's like, I will send for it when I return home, and then.
Out of character question. Do I know that when I got that temporary hit points earlier, that came from her?
You know that she did something
Okay.
to make you feel more.
How do you do that thing?
Well, you have to attune to it first, and then you may.
Oh, okay.
You can use its properties.
Oh, Mom doesn't
It's gonna
like
take a
this.
while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Just the most expensive hammer in the kingdom.
There you go.
Mom doesn't
I'm gonna. There's a
Physically,
sapphire on it,
literally, and
The whole
emotionally.
head of the hammer
right?
is
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna go
sapphire.
tick, tick, tick.
It could be an actual war,
All right.
like spark.
Yeah.
Out of character question, is that a death flag that I just heard?
Oh no! What? Don't look at me.
No, it's an important thing for her.
And then I'll take
character.
my other hammer out and be like, sorry, crush. And I give it a kiss and I
Death
put it back.
flag.
I think she's
It's
worried
just
that if
business.
something is powerful enough to overcome all. Actually, I think she's worried that if something is powerful enough to overcome all 20 retainers, it will overcome her as well.
I'm
the
gone.
hammer would be lost to the enemy, and that would be something
Oh.
that is unacceptable.
I don't mean anything by this, but if you die, what happens to this? I don't want that to happen, but
You will need
That's a good
to.
question.
It needs to be kept safe, and then eventually returned to my people.
okay.
National treasure guy.
Can you, is there any way you can arrange for somebody to contact me if you go down? Like
Yes,
these people?
we're gonna be sending.
113.
We'll be sending word ahead before I depart, but we will be probably departing this afternoon or this evening.
Okay.
Have a great trip. Try not to
Be
die.
safe, yeah.
Oh my
We'll
God.
definitely try not to.
Fucking tact.
If you'd like, I could take your hammer. If I need to defend myself.
No.
Do
Your
it!
Hammer. You should give her your hammer.
Tradesies.
She
I can
just
always
gave
send
you
it back
a
to
much
you.
more powerful hammer.
Trade.
Think of it as collateral.
Will I get
You
back?
think that
Yes,
you
when
think
you send
your
it to me,
hammer
I will
is as
send-
important as her
I'm
hammer
gonna-
because it's not.
I mean,
Your hammer got hot. You dropped
I'm
it.
gonna
You
put
couldn't
it
use
down
for a
and
whole
start
fight.
digging through my bag to see and pull it down. Dagger.
I would like to steal her
No.
hammer off of her.
Absolutely not.
I would like to steal her hammer.
Okay.
Alright, how do I contest this thing?
Oh, I don't think you're gonna do it.
Make a perception check, please.
What am I rolling
Just
for
a
there,
straight
Dion?
perception.
It is a sleight of hand.
Oh, it's a sleight of hand. Well, that makes it kind of difficult for you.
Perception?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what'd that come out to?
Well, 13.
So 25 is gonna beat that.
So as you're rustling through, he's just like,
Is he good?
yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna hand it to Lady Black Mountain.
And then he slides it around to the side, and she takes it, and she just sets it down in front of you. Like, it's like this little roundabout.
What the fuck? Can I pick it up too? I'm clutching both hammers.
She's like, it's quite all right.
No.
If you feel
Hand her
uncomfortable,
your hammer.
Shut
just-
up!
I just feel like
so
it would be.
glad I'm not here.
Uh,
This is ridiculous.
promise I'll get it back.
We will switch when they.
It's not even as cool as your hammer, you know. It's pretty cool.
What makes your hammer special?
It's my hammer.
What makes it special besides that?
Give it to her.
Right. She kind of takes it. She's like, well, I appreciate you entrusting
His name
me.
is Crush.
I will.
Take
And
very good care of it. Make it shiny. Don't let
Okay.
it get gross.
She sets it in the.
She's a dwarven woman, and that is a weapon
I
and
don't
a
know
smith's
how-
tool. There is no way that she will let it come to any
I
harm
don't know
or
how to get
fault.
word to you. If I go down where you send it, you don't really send anywhere.
If you
can
go
keep
down,
it.
I'll find out and tell her she can keep the hammer.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just.
Because we both know that if you're dead, I'll be long gone.
Sangak, Ma doesn't say
Because
this
I don't
enough,
hang
but
around
you're
for
his
things.
favorite
Oh, you
party
don't
member.
physically like. I didn't
No,
think
I'm
that
not
die.
putting my
You're my
life down
favorite.
for you.
No, I didn't mean like that, you
I know.
ass.
Thank you. I haven't laughed in a while. That was good.
You you
Have an ass.
are escorted into the artist room. He is currently finishing up some notes that he has. Do you go with him to talk about the newts?
Yeah, I'm not gonna stand in the hall by myself.
Okay. For the sake of brevity, you guys regale him anything you need from him.
No,
You just
but
want to take off the hood.
I do need to pregame this.
Yeah. Can I get
just-
a card?
Zanga, pretend you don't see this, and don't tell anyone.
Oh my
He's
God,
a
he's
lizard
hideous.
man.
Oh, your eyes are a different
Oh, there's
color
something
now.
about him?
Oh yeah,
He's a lizard man.
but he's not.
He looks like Voldemort, but scaled. Like
Does he have a nose?
it's a small little bump with the two slits. He basically looks like a hybrid between a lizard man and a human. So human features, but his entire head is scaled.
Green.
It's green with like little bits of like white or bone white, off white, and then the green, the orange or the yellow eyes
Holy shit.
Yeah. and the slits in them.
Humans are weird.
He molted. The kid jumps like immediately as you both enter because now there's a goblin in there and there's a lizard man.
Monster.
He kind of leaps
Avast.
back.
Well, I don't take it. I was like, hey, what's up, motherfucker? And I
He's like, hey,
So,
this is a thing.
I think that I was cursed by a lizard man. Here's what I look like now. I used to be a half elf.
He starts drawing. Starts drawing and listening to you guys regale him with all the information that
And I
you get.
Also, the fire notes and the flappy things speak like this, and I do just a simple.
You do the Ignin.
Yeah, I just say, "Hello, how are you?"
Just sounds like. He kind of like. Right, he's just like writing.
It sounds like fire.
Dips it in the ink. Keeps writing. But he draws. He gets all the information from you guys, and then eventually you are carded out.
Oh, could you draw my pics?
Oh, okay. From the pig a little bit. Does a little sketch. It's like
Does
it's like
it
the
actually
chibi
look
version.
a pig, or is it like a kid's drawing
No,
of a pig?
it's like a kid's drawing, but it's better than a kid's drawing.
Okay.
It's like you know when professionals draw kids' drawings. You know,
Yes.
it's like way better. But he's like
Oh, thank you.
he looks like the Poogie from Monster Hunter. It's like that little like wink. It looks adorable.
Thank you.
Sure.
Don't eat it.
It's like big fucking snouts like up against it. So, you guys regather in the main hall. Lady Black Mountain excuses herself. You have acquired the
Hammer
item?
of Black Mountain.
you did.
It can move mountains.
Whack a mountain.
Like a
It can move mountains and hearts.
Yeah, it moves your heart outside your body.
Okay.
Don't scroll.
No, it's only on that one page.
Oh, okay.
So, you guys, I'm assuming exit out.
Yep.
Okay. What's the plan?
I go to the blacksmith.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
You guys are both going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's mom?
Oh, I guess I will come with you.
You notice as you guys are exiting out, they seem to be bringing a very nice like carriage around to the front, and there's a large number of guards currently in
Like-
formation.
Like Cinderella nice or like Stardust nice?
Like Stardust, nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Less ornate, more.
Sure. Just a good, solid
Yeah.
carriage. Okay.
Not a gypsy
construction.
wagon.
Not a gypsy wagon, no.
This is true.
So you notice them kind of
Kind
like
of
forming
gypsy
up and getting ready. So you guys exit out, down.
Do gypsy wagons come with a seer?
One free seer.
That's copper.
Is that sold separately?
I think it's because there's a seer that it's a gypsy wagon.
Oh, yeah.
I think they were like early 15.
I have a mission.
Well, they're form plated, but
Find a seer gypsy wagon.
That could have gone one of two ways.
Okay. So you guys head down. You guys head to the blacksmith. You notice now as the day's kind of gone on a little bit, it's probably like 4 PM. All of your meeting, talking, meandering around.
Have we been regaled yet that we're pursuing this ghost ship?
no, not yet.
Oh,
No.
good. Okay.
But you know what? We should have asked if the blacksmith's daughter can come visit.
She's not allowed.
Yeah, no.
Michelle?
I asked.
And he's not here.
Well, no, he works here mostly. He's just
No,
not right now.
No, he said he's not working in the keep.
Oh.
There's no forge in the keep.
We saw
I don't know
the
a forge. They look like they handle peasants. The help
What
is
do you
not
mean?
allowed here.
Huh?
Where's he making that? Fuck!
You don't know.
Elsewhere, in a secret forge in the woods, with an old man with one
I think he's
eye.
just out gathering material.
well, he
And
is.
2 hooks for
but
hands.
He's also got a set of
2
guards
hammers
with
for hands.
him, and I'm sure he's probably forging
There's
in
actually
a
a
remote
person like
location.
that.
So,
It's a gnome.
you guys head down to the blacksmith to go regale her with that information.
This is like the
He is-
fastest quest turnaround I think I've ever had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know that we did it well then.
Okay.
You did great.
Sometimes they're just talking quests.
So you head back to her. She seems to be forge is in full tilt. She seems to be constructing, working on some stuff. As you enter into the shop, it's a little bit warmer than it was prior. Now that the forge is going, you notice there's a couple other people inside. Older gentlemen's looking at like spades. One's pulling down like a shovel, and they're kind of like setting them up. She takes, she
A
gets
shovel or
away
a
from the.
spade?
Huh?
A shovel or a spade?
No, like one grabs like one of the handheld spades, and another guy grabs like a shovel, and they're grabbing like different.
So,
But they seem to be like kind of in line purchasing things. She goes back and forth. She eyes you guys as you enter. Perks up a bit.
I'll move to the counter beside the guy.
Okay.
Obviously not trying to buy anything. Hey, we spoke with the Duke.
You did.
If you would like, we can handle this after you finished.
Yes,
Okay.
please. As they kind of turn around, they start exiting out. You guys are all
Did they
hanging
pay
out.
for their stuff, or they just steal 2 shovels?
Everyone
All
made their
right.
transactions.
Gosh, I was worried
Um,
for her livelihood. She doesn't have any money.
there's some great hoes here.
It's just
Thanks. We got these ones. I didn't make any of these ones.
Well, that's
Um,
fine.
no wonder they're great.
It seems that there is some more to this armor than just simply crafting plate mail.
Mhm.
It seems that your father has been tasked to accompany the guards to not only collect the materials for it, but it will be done in a remote, secret location. They wish to impart it with some manner of enchantment. So it's very tenable that your father may be gone considerably longer than it takes to make a regular set of plate mail.
We have no one in the kingdom that can enchant things, though.
Well, I mean, it's the Duke, and it's for the Duke specifically. I'm sure he's got connections.
There are people in Alavra that can, so maybe they took someone from there
Definite
to
possibility.
help with it. Doing
I
it
don't
piece
know.
by piece.
Does your father have any enemies?
No, he was a hardworking man. He was very nice.
That doesn't mean he didn't have
But-
any enemies.
But no, that doesn't make sense. If the Duke wanted armor made, it could be made here, and the enchantment goes on afterwards. It's not made during the process.
Question:
He wanted it
does
to be
armor
secret.
forged over different kinds of fires have different aspects?
Yes.
So if they perhaps wanted a weapon or armor forged over lava, I imagine it would be very hard to do here.
Yes.
Or perhaps a special kind of wood, or a dead salamander, or
A live
something like
salamander.
that. Or a live salamander. That would be such an undertaking.
I haven't had a
Can you
salamander
imagine
in a
holding one
long
of those
time.
upside down and then just poking it to keep it mad? And I'm getting off topic. However, so it is very possible that there is some other aspect, or perhaps it needs to be forged underground. I've heard of people that need to forge in certain places to imbue objects with certain enchantments. There's many reasons why they might not be able to do it here in this forge.
And the one that the Duke cited specifically was that he wanted no eyes on it prior to its creation.
Oh, secrecy as well. That's
Yes.
a big thing.
She kind of goes around you as you're talking and goes to the door and closes it. And then she lets the lock down. And then she turns around and she's like, "Listen, I don't know how long you've been here,
Not long. 24 hours.
Thereabouts.
but the Duke's a smart man,
Yes.
and there's rumors that he's doing like experiments on people and stuff, and I just want to make sure that's not my dad."
Who
Well,
else
there's
has
no
said
way
that?
we could find that one out because the Duke's not just going to come out and say it, even if we asked him.
Who else has he done experiments on?
Well, people have been spirited away. They kidnap those lizard people and they take them away, and no one sees them again.
Yeah, but
One, people like who?
Well, like there's been, and she basically regales you with just rumors. She talks about
give me
like
a couple specific.
Yeah.
like basically like, oh, like Billy was over here and he kind of made the Duke mad and now he's not here anymore. He's just
How
gone.
old was Billy?
Like 30.
30. So
Yeah.
prime warfighting age.
Yeah.
Is it unthinkable to presume that maybe he was drafted?
I mean, maybe, but I don't.
Okay, fair. And two, I don't think he kidnapped lizard men. I think that happened when they were taken because they were prisoners of war. Also, they're lizard men. Those things are vicious and smart.
Yes.
Very smart. Do you know how many of them we had to kill to get here?
A lot.
Not enough. They
I
ran
killed-
away, and that's the only reason we're not all dead. This
Shit.
I killed 2.
was Elvin.
She's
Elvin's
thinking.
dead now. He had his throat cut by a lizard man. A giant crocodile was slashing him with a sword, and somebody else poked it.
Also, our friend Nadril died.
He died. Our friend Nadril that was a different thing, though.
No, it wasn't the
Oh
big-
no, yeah, that was Pets. Yeah, that was a different lizard man. That was next to a city, much like this one, except bigger and better defended. They
With-
came in through a barn and murdered him.
I just want to see him. I just want to speak to him.
We understand.
Sometimes you
And
can't always get what you want.
we will
But
be
if you try sometimes.
It's inspiration right
we'll
there.
be around town
It's inspiration for now.
for a few more days, and we'll see what we can dig up. But perhaps your time is better spent not worrying as much about feasibly baseless rumors.
No.
I don't know. Maybe you should try some of the. Try asking around because
We-
there's some weird stuff
We absolutely
that
will
happens here.
miss.
Did you learn anything about the lizard man when you were back there talking about what you saw?
There's a lot of research that they're
Is
doing.
there
Did
DD
you
of
see
logic?
anything that we haven't
Is
seen?
there a DD of logic?
Find out
Not especially.
together.
Damn it.
In this part of the
'Cause I
world,
know
they'd
that
be
one of those
saints.
requests was
Sure.
for knowledge
And yes,
about the
there
lizard
is,
man.
but it depends on what kind you want. You want evil logic or you want good logic?
Good logic, please.
Okay, let me pull up the list.
Yes, I
It
will
should be
attempt to
Isilia, but I wanna
placate
double-check
her
before I let
and
you.
just look. We'll see what we can find.
So
But
what do we do?
well, first we investigate the ghost ship
Yeah.
because that sounds
that
really
sounds the
cool.
most fun.
And who knows? They might be intimately connected.
Well, should we?
Maybe we'll find the captain, beat him, tie him up, tear off his mask, and it turns out to be the Duke.
So
That
with
would be
Beryl
alarming.
gone, we don't have any other
Secret.
access to the castle except for like maybe more lizard man knowledge.
Correct.
So
Or a one quest.
do we? I'm gonna
Oh,
get,
by the way, we're going after the ghost ship.
Yeah, we heard about it from
Oh,
an old
good.
I'm
lady
gonna
in
get
town.
closer to you. Do, are we gonna keep pursuing this?
Who am I pursuing?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you hear me, but I was talking about. I'm pointing towards the black.
Look,
I mean, I'm kind of interested about the whole like.
we'll keep an open mind about it.
Well, so are we gonna go to the ghost ship and come back and try to get it?
No, we're going to go to the ghost ship, and if we end up staying in town longer, we will.
I mean, we
Stay
don't have
in
to get
town
back
longer,
anytime soon.
But
Oh,
look,
Isilia.
Male or female?
Female.
Thank you.
Goddess.
I'm inclined to
Curse.
believe this is just
Saintess.
baseless rumors.
I want a beach day too. I
I
want a beach.
understand.
I want to be.
We will
today.
take our time in this town, and if we
Remember
discover
what happened
anything,
last time we tried to have a picnic? People died.
he's got a
Yeah.
point.
True.
Look, Luke,
Thanks.
we'll maintain an
Unrelated.
open mind, and if we find evidence, we'll pursue it. But tentatively, we're going to investigate a ghost ship, spend a day at the beach, and then we're going to depart the city.
Maybe we should spend one more day just like.
I gotta stay
checking.
here a week.
What?
What?
The fur, I'm getting tanned.
Oh, that's right.
Oh shit.
So you guys can
Well,
leave.
No, no, you're
I will
right.
stay
Why
here
would we
forever.
leave?
We
Because
can.
I have all the money.
Zongek, I apologize. I
I'll have
forgot.
like two someday, Zonga. You don't have to rub people's faces.
I forgot
Alright,
about your
you're four.
leather. We'll remain. We're here for a week then.
Alright, so we have time.
We've got
Oh,
time.
lady,
Isn't that
if you
weird
want something to keep
how we
you
have a week
busy,
now here?
here's a lizard man axe.
Great, excuse me.
Maybe you could figure out what to use.
I think it's
And
purely
then-
coincidental.
Looks up at the sky. At
She
Fleet's
takes
face in the sky.
In the ceiling?
What?
That knot in the
Isn't
woods.
it weird how we have a week for the thing to be tanned and
That's
then
how long it takes to tan leather.
yeah, but then we also have this quest and I was like, isn't that weird? And I looked up at your face in the sky.
We are inside.
Okay. So
You
what's the
don't
plan?
see face?
What are you guys doing?
Going to the bathroom.
I figure we'll go down to the port city
Yes.
and ask
Should
around
we
about
take a break
rumors,
now?
find
Yes.
out about ghost ships, any other
Yeah.
mysterious disappearances,
Indeed.
and arm ourselves and ready to go out and get killed apparently by ghosts.
Ah, that's right.
That's what
Okay.
happened to the last people.
All right. So we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna go down for a second, use the bathroom, get
Wait,
some water and all
before-
that stuff.
Before we go,
Uh huh.
I need to speak to this maiden.
Okay. She's kind of like just
So
still
are we leaving?
just holding an axe.
No, we can wait for a second.
No, are we leaving?
Was departing to
Leaving
go
out?
to
Yeah, you guys are
Port
heading
City.
out.
Shop? We're leaving the shop?
I'm
Yeah.
just getting ready to-
Cool.
What?
Leaving the
Did
shop.
you say?
No, we're leaving the shop.
Yes. No, because I'm going to hang behind,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, you want
And
to
I'm going to
Okay,
turn
yeah,
to
oh,
her.
we're walking.
and I'm gonna set my hands on her counter and say, I want to leave you with some words of wisdom that were given to me in the city that I turned up in, which is often Theridin. But I want to introduce you to the concept of Saint Isilius Racer. Oftentimes, when many venues are offered to you and many explanations exist, the simplest is often the correct one. So instead of chasing clouds and will-o-wisps, perhaps you should concentrate on your work and your purse and make yourself successful so when he comes home he's proud of you, not tearing his hair out over what you've left behind.
Okay.
Have a wonderful day. And then I'm going to leave.
Damn.
Okay. So you exit out. All right, we're gonna go down for a second. Use the bathroom and everything. Words are hard. All right, we will be right back, guys. So give us 1 second. I'm gonna dip off screen here. Oh.
We need to get Theta a hammer. Call it knowledge.
We just dropped it.
Still
Audio's on.
Now audio.
Oh,
Now,
hey.
We need a button for live mic and live audio.
Oh,
That'd
hey
be
there,
lovely.
oh there.
We have a thing, but okay, moving on. You wouldn't understand if I explained it.
Oh yes.
You would understand the mechanics of it, but you wouldn't understand because of computer not wanting to read things, and then my favorite thing that Streamlabs does is that randomly it'll just stop accepting your hotkeys altogether, which happened like 4 times when we were using the.
Do you have an external? Do you have like a numpad that you can plug in?
Yeah, we have one. It
We had
reaches.
one. We were
It
just
reaches.
talking about
No, it worked fine.
We used to
Except
use it.
Streamlabs decided it didn't want to use them hotkeys no more, and so we had them and they were set up and they worked beautifully, and then suddenly one day they just didn't work.
Oh, I remember that because you were like, okay, cool, and then you started doing stuff and you noticed we were still streaming,
Yeah, like it just doesn't.
which was good because we were almost ready to say something.
All right, so we're back. A dinosaur story. Thanks for hanging out with us, Rocco. Thanks for the host, buddy.
Yeah.
And if you're just joining us, we are going to be Ghost Ship. Going to the Ghost Ship. So.
I go shipping.
All right, so you guys exit out of the blacksmith. You have your moment with the blacksmith's
So what's
daughter,
the
the apprentice blacksmith.
Cole tried to explain it to me with the ghost.
So-
I think it went without saying, but I walked out after that.
I
Yeah.
dropped the mic and
Ghost.
exited.
Zongak are. They're like monsters
Okay.
that look like people
Oh!
sometimes.
As we're walking down the street, Theta has a revelation.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to fight a ghost ship.
Yes.
How many of you have silvered weapons?
They all burned
I
out.
don't know about this.
0.
Warhammer?
It's magical, no. It's not silver.
Magical weapons?
Still magical?
Do you have a magical weapon?
You don't gotta
I
worry
have
about
2
that.
magic
We
weapons.
don't have to worry about this?
Okay.
Silvered weapons, that's in an old game.
Yeah.
It's not
Oh.
a new mechanic.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that
Nope, you're good.
could.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's a myth,
Okay.
and it might work on certain things.
Dun dun dun.
Well, luckily I have silvered weapons, so I guess I will protect us all.
Well, I also have magic.
I heard you have to hit him with
How
the
do you do?
salt.
I got magic too. Look, I can cast.
Dagger.
I found it.
No,
That's not right.
that's crazy.
Is that insulting? I mean, you've only got 3.
4. Thank you.
Oh, you have? I thought you only
They're
had 3.
equidistant. It's
So grown
4
up.
points.
Oh, okay.
Equidistant. So grown up.
No. Vocabulary. Alright. So are we.
So do this, and then pop this one out, but then rotate it around so it's this
No.
again. And
Oh.
I'll pop this one out and rotate it back so it's this again.
So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna rest?
We're going to the port town.
I rested on the balcony. Let's go to the port
We're
town.
going right to the-
Do you need to sleep?
Yes.
I need
Oh,
to get to
I
know
mean
this
not in
hammer.
general. I meant today.
You'll have
4
time.
hours? Half an hour?
Short rest.
You'll
Well,
have
tune your
time.
Is that 4?
That's you gotta make out with him.
I mean, it's only noon, right?
Cause
No,
I,
it's not
No,
even.
it's like 4 o'clock. 4 p.m. now.
Damn.
I
Yeah,
have.
you guys. He was waiting on the balcony for like
Okay,
4
we're
hours.
just gonna
I-
go.
You guys were
Literally
wandering
sat-
around
yeah.
town, walking
Yeah,
around.
no, I guess
Are we
so.
gonna go info or are we?
We're gonna go to the port town and just look for info.
Okay.
All right, so you guys exit out of the
We talked about this.
Twice.
you exit out the eastern gate of Galarin. There are no guards here. You follow the road.
On the gate, there are no guards?
nope.
Oh, interesting.
You follow the path down. You kind of stay a little bit distance. You work your way through some of the wood here, which is near the edge of the cliff itself, trying to stay kind of like a good distance away from it because there's no real demarcation that just says, "Hey, cliff, freedom," and then the end of
Bye.
your life.
There's no fence?
No.
There's a sign that says we.
That's rude.
But you walk for
Or smart.
about 300 feet, 400 feet before you find that there is a kind of a dip downwards, and you see that there's like basically it's all the grass has all been torn up. It's now just like worked earth, almost patted down from just years of use. And you follow that down. It's basically switchbacks for the whole 200 feet down. So it doesn't take you that long, but you find yourself going down there. You approach, and all right. So much like the city above, the port city of Galarin seems rustic. Heavy-looking stone-worked lattice, carefully tethered together with old-looking wood, creates a hybrid of a dock and worked landfall. The port seems relatively empty. Large gaps exist between what parts of the dock that once held great warships and merchant vessels stopping for succor, and shorely. The houses down here seem as ready as the ones above. However, these ones seem to have many, many more signs of wear, tear, and rebuilding. The whole city smells of seaweed, sea air, and a combination of odors whose origins are best left to the imagination. Older ladies and gentlemen move about belabored as they tend to their morning or their afternoon routines. Fishermen call from stalls littered with fish that have been warming all day in the sun.
This is not smoking.
Few chimneys in the area seem alight, and there seems to be like one door as you kind of like walk through this area that seems like propped open, and people inside seem to be drinking. Further out towards the ocean, you can see a large merchant-style galleon that is currently anchored in the harbor, and a few smaller boats that are tethered together on the docks, where a rough and ragged-looking crew speaks animately with like the dock workers. Let's plan.
Is it
Traditionally, I've been
smell
known to overspeak my bounds, so I'm gonna hold back.
bad?
Hello, dock workers.
Looks like fish,
Where's
like rotten
Timmy's
fish
mom?
and stuff.
And sea air?
Probably at the bar.
Water.
Seaweed. And
We're
water.
gonna head over to the dock. I feel like our
Probably a little rotting wood.
first option is to try and find
Oh.
somebody that'll take us to the ghost ship.
Yeah, didn't we also want to look to see,
Passage.
about getting home?
There you go. Two birds, one stone.
Well, you remember that speaking to the Duke, he straight up told you who would be taking you out. He told you that there's a vessel in the harbor currently anchored for this specific purpose.
If I
Right,
may.
So the ghost ship is taken care of.
If I may.
Yeah, there's a,
One person knows that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh yeah, so if we bring that out, I would say passage, but we're going. The Duke has the ship for us. That ship is going to take us to the ghost ship. I presume it's that ship and not
That
a
one?
small sailing vessel.
Wait.
I don't know. I don't know the name of the ship. It's not painted on the side. Is it painted on the side?
It really is. It's actually painted on the rear of the ship.
That's what I figured.
Why is the Duke taking us to the ghost ship?
He's not.
17.
He's
Can I see the name of the
arranged
ship?
for you to get there.
Can I see the name of the ship?
From here, you squint that little eye and you let it focus.
It's not like it's written on the side of the ship.
It says Advantage. It's the name
Oh.
of the ship.
Oh, hey!
The ship will be our advantage.
They're gonna give us an advantage.
Wait, so
Thought you liked that.
the ship Advantage is taking us to the ghost ship.
I'm amazed you got that out of what I said, but yes.
Why?
Because the Duke said so.
Wait, what?
Are we gonna pay for
No.
Yes. They just having some
5 miles, 10 miles.
having some
North
memory
south
problems.
of North City.
No, I'm
south.
saying no, by the way.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
So
why
no.
the fuck are we doing this?
Wait, hold
Because
on.
it's a ghost ship, and because Zongak, if you would enlighten her.
I mean, we were gonna explore it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know where to put my pig.
Adventure.
Look at his pig.
All
You
right.
always
Well,
said
no,
adventure.
hold on. Why
Oh.
is the Duke involved?
Because it's a ghost ship in his harbor.
So he asked you to investigate?
He asked us to investigate.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, because all of his people are at war
Yeah.
and apparently torturing a blacksmith in the woods or something.
Fair
So,
enough.
What?
I-
Is that
sorry
disinformation?
if that did not inflect correctly. That was sarcasm
Oh.
as to the dumb bitch's plight. So,
You call her dumb.
I do call her a dumb
Why?
bitch because she should be working on swords because that's clearly what
And
sells
she
the best,
is.
and she has none of them. She said she didn't make any of the things on the walls.
I mean,
She said that her father had been gone for months. What has she been doing in that shop?
was there other
Crying
stuff
into a
in there?
pillow.
Yeah, there was like regular working materials, hammers.
I won't pity someone that doesn't try to
Axes.
negotiations.
But we didn't
Shovels.
make anything.
She said she didn't make certain things.
Yeah.
You don't know what
That's
she's
all we
made.
heard. She didn't say she was not proud of anything. She said, "Oh, I made this." So that's what Theta took from that. Let's go down to the docks and talk to some scraggly people.
Well then, ghost ship taken care of.
yeah.
Let's see if we can find somebody that'll take us back to Alavra.
Question.
Hmm.
Passage is typically dependent on a date and time. Do we have a date and time
We-
on which we are departing?
At least a week.
At least a week. That's not good for a ship.
Right.
So perhaps we should put a pin in that.
Well, we could see if there's like vessels like.
Oh, scheduled to come in for a certain time.
Well, no, there was two. We had two schools of thought. Either find one that's already going out at a certain time, or we could see if there's anyone we can hire to take us.
Fair. But that journey is going to take us several days, a week, 2
Oh,
weeks.
do we know how long it's gonna take? We don't know.
I don't know.
We could ask somebody around
For
here.
2 weeks.
Okay.
But that
list-
said, it would probably be pretty pricey.
Yeah. That's true.
So before we decide to finance a voyage, so we're here at least a week. Let's tack on. See, that's the problem though. If we say another day, like ships run on a schedule.
Well,
we
here's
can find out schedules and see.
that's my bit. Is Lou wants to see if there's a scheduled shipment from here within the next however long. I
Sure,
figure
and if we have to stay a couple extra days, then so be it.
Yeah.
it took us what
Fair.
27 to get here. So if anything within the next month is leaving, we
Good
may as well
month, we're
just
still alive.
stay here.
Yo, what happened to the 3 fuckos?
They're still hanging out somewhere.
Okay.
They're not coming with
I
you.
thought we asked
Did
them
they
to
were
go
they
with her.
in the?
They were in the inn. They didn't go into the.
They didn't go to the thing.
Oh, I thought they were gonna go with her.
No, they've been hanging out.
Of
So
course, there's no children here to send messages with because they stole all the children for war.
I feel like
There are little
Lou?
kids everywhere. In the upper city, yeah, you saw a bunch of little kids running
Oh, I
around.
did see little kids. Oh,
yeah,
I thought I
like
didn't see
little
kids.
kids. Yeah, basically anybody over like 15 has been
Oh,
conscripted.
perfect. I'm looking for a kid about as old as I am tall. On the way out of town.
On the way out of town?
Yes, like while we're heading towards the port.
Yeah, you'd be able to find some.
Okay, cool. What's the name of the place you're staying at?
How big is the ship?
No.
The
I think
Advantage.
you're the only
the advantage.
one.
It's a like a Spanish galleon, so it's probably about
Okay.
160 feet long.
And never mind.
Why?
Taking the pig with me.
They can hold it on there.
Storm.
Stormy. It was spelled wrong.
Oh, with an IE.
So I'm gonna find the kid and I'm gonna say, "Hello. Can you speak common?" I'm gonna try it.
Uh huh.
Okay, thank you. I need you to deliver a message for me. Are you busy today? Perfect.
A little bit of snot comes out. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Ew.
Lick that
I'm
up.
gonna pull out a copper from my pocket. Hold the copper. I need you to deliver a message from me to my friends. They're at the Stormy Canary. Do you know where that is? Okay, there are.
He hiccups.
Okay.
Really?
There are 4 of
It's
them
gross.
there. Right, Florin went back to the inn?
Yes.
Wait, Florin knows what the fuck's going on. But regardless, there are 4 of them there. If they're still there, I need you to tell them that
Help is on the way.
no. Tell them that
Adventure.
the job is done. They can go home. And I'm gonna hand them the copper, and then I'm gonna pull a silver out and say, "Are you allowed to go down to the port city? Come find me in the port city after you deliver the message, and I will give you this."
Just runs off. Upper half flailing. He's so young he can't hold his
Now
own
we can
head
go to
up.
the port city.
Okay, so you guys go head down there.
Like a baby
You
centaur.
see everything. Yeah, right. Baby centaur.
All right, so Lou, if you would like to go
What a great
check and
comment.
for schedules and what have you, we will head to the local pub and see if we can rustle up some information about a ghost ship, about spiriting aways, about whatever we can find.
And for God's sakes, don't ask any leading questions.
Yes.
Did you hear about that blacksmith that got tortured and kidnapped?
I'm not gonna be asking.
I understand that, but
Why are
I'm
you
just
telling me? Tell
because
him.
we're gonna be around people, and I don't want you spouting off and
We're gonna be.
indulging their fantasies.
We're in different directions. I'm going somewhere else.
I
Yes,
know.
but he's
I'm saying to the group as a whole,
tact.
there appears to be an undercurrent of fear
Are
from
you
the
listening
Duke.
all?
Yes.
Okay. It's obviously to you.
Yeah, clearly.
Is that why his eyes focused on you?
It darts around. I don't think
I've
it's in there.
never-
It's screwed in right.
But we don't need to stoke any sort of, especially strangers in this town, we don't need to contribute to any rumors that are going around, especially when we have no base of knowing whether or not they are true.
I literally see Lou walking up. Hey, what's up, Mr. Shipman? Have you heard about that guy that was tortured in the woods?
Is that what you see?
Yeah.
No, I
You
hear.
can't see anything.
I hear.
I
Have
can
you
see
seen the
you
blacksmith's
well.
daughter because she thinks the Duke kidnapped him when he was supposed to be doing a job.
Okay, so what's the plan?
I'd be
Who's
worried
going where?
about that.
To.
We are going to a bar.
Who? The 3 of you?
Yes.
I
And
go
you?
sit on the boat.
He says, I'm
Oh,
Where
he
you
goes
going?
to the
I'm
boat.
going to go find out how long it's going to take to get to Alabra, and then also if there's any vessels that are headed to Alabra, and then see if I can.
So you're trying to look for the portmaster,
I guess so.
I'll
And
go
then-
bar with them.
and you guys are heading to the bar.
He's
I'm going to the boat.
I like
Going to the
bars.
boat. The boat is in the harbor. It's not docked here. They have smaller vessels that they've been using to ferry back and forth. There are a number of them docked, like 4 of them, and there are a number of people on the shoreline that are currently speaking with somebody.
I just go stand there, staring at it.
A couple people kind of like seem disconcerted that there's a goblin amongst their midst.
Lou, this is like a one-way mirror. I can see you perfectly fine. I know, Tiff.
Oh my god, whatever.
I can see you perfectly
I
fine.
don't care.
So
You're aware.
fair enough. You go stand over at the docks, looking around as you look for somebody, stopping a couple older gentlemen in the streets and asking them where the portmaster is. They point you in the direction. You find yourself standing next to Zongak on the port.
As not to garner any attention, I have the hammer, like the head of it, inside my bag. I just don't have it like out.
So you don't
Does
just
the
have that.
handle look like super ornate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very,
But at
very
least
pretty.
it's like on my.
But it's all like
closer.
those heavy like squares with like straight lines, almost runic designs.
Woman.
Yeah, it's
Does it
very.
look like a collection of squares that are like in a spiral or twisted?
It's like they're like these like almost like bands of these like thick looking square bands into like a smooth worked like cylindrical handle, but it's like almost like
So it's more like engraved onto it. Then.
but it's very light.
Cool.
Surprisingly light. So as you stand there, you can hear them all kind of like just gibbering back and forth, basically like right now they seem to be pestering what appears to be an older gentleman in his 50s with like one dead looking milky eye. Face is all carved up, but he has like a ragged looking beard that's kind of like short on one side, and he has like this old looking like wooden board in his hand with a number of papers all kind of latched to it, almost like a clipboard, but haphazard.
Does he have a yellow hat and a yellow raincoat and a peg leg?
But he's standing there and he's just like got his hands up and he's trying to like shut them off. But the conversation that you're getting basically is they're asking like, are there any bordellos here? You know, like there's only one pub. Like where are the other drinking places at? You know, do they have any stores? And the guy's just like, listen, I know you've been here for a couple days, but calm down. Like you know, ain't shit like that here. And as you approach, you get the sense that seems to be the guy.
He's like the concierge of the
You
port.
could go to Gilda's if you want stories.
They all look what? What did you say?
Said you could go to Gilda's. She has a good store up in the other town.
Are you
She got
wearing?
beer. She got booze.
With you.
He's right next to you.
If anything,
Oh, I
you
think
walked
it's
up with
on our
him.
No, he went to look at the ship and he was
Yeah,
he
he's
was
on the port.
when you
Okay.
showed up and he was just sitting there staring off the dock.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the ghost ship to show up.
Right. But anyway, as you approach, the gentleman just kind of like waves off the kind of like rabble of individuals all around him, poorly dressed, sweaty. They smell. They've been anchored in the harbor for a couple days now. But they kind of like grumble and they start wandering into the city to go just mess around and see what's going on. As he turns to you, he's just like, oh, "What can I help you with?"
Hi, I have a couple questions. We were on a mission and we're here in Galaran for a little bit, but we're trying to get back to Alavra. How long does that take to sail from here to Alavra?
It depends on who's taking you and how many stops they got.
So that is my other question. Can you charter
Or
a boat
maybe it just
yourself?
forces
Toby?
you to
Like,
stay
is there
in that
anybody that
form.
you can hire to take you just to wherever?
Usually, yeah, but we're in battle formation. You got the navies coming in and out. You got advantage in the harbor. That's about it. We haven't seen any trading vessels in these parts for a couple days now.
You turn into Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Are they like preparing for something?
Well,
Or
you know
is it-
anything about opportunity? With an internal threat, we're worried about the Lorin incursion on the coastline.
Fuck.
And we got a large number of pirates to the south. So, hence the privateer vessel in the harbor.
So a lot of people would want to be going north then.
Okay. So
Pirate Island.
right now, so you're saying right now there's no way to like leave to like. Is there any vessels that are out?
If someone's coming in, you can take the road. But otherwise, once, I mean, if we, I don't have anybody scheduled to come in.
Is there anybody scheduled to go out?
You can take the advantage if they're willing to leave.
That's the Duke's though, right? Or
No. This is a privateer vessel that's been hired to hang out in the harbor while the ship's in the area. Normally they'd be out privateering.
who hired them?
The Duke did.
Okay. All right.
But as you're talking, he like points and you see like maybe like 30 or 40 dudes just kind of like walking into town. He's like, but then there's half the fighting force there. And then I'm assuming the rest is on the boat.
Mhm.
But you can see I ain't too keen on it after a couple of days of hanging out.
So, that ship, do you know how long the Duke has it for?
Why
I
don't we
have no
just
idea.
take the ghost ship?
Because it only comes out at night. What if it disappears during the day?
That'll be exciting.
And then we fall into the water.
As you're going, it's just like,
Yes! Oh,
Everyone just
It's okay,
falls.
it's okay. We just have to tread until tonight.
Zogak swims like a dog.
Fucking be wishing you got
I
bit
would
by that
just
were
sink
shark.
to the bottom
Yeah.
and then walk my happy ass to a lavra.
Yeah, under the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I have a
already-
buoy.
It's big. It's a flotation
Pink
device.
floats.
I'm looking at the pyramid.
It's just like,
I wonder how long it would take you to sink to the bottom.
Time for your meal, ham hock.
Alright.
Take a pound of meat.
a pound of meat. You gotta feed it to him
is
over the
there
course
a
of the day.
Talk to whoever owns the advantage?
Yeah, you can talk to the quartermaster, Nidosa von Lote. She's in charge of the vessel.
Right, that's the name.
Can I talk to her now?
Oh, you have to get out there first, and your ride just walked into town.
So no.
You go rally up them gents, and head on back.
Alright. Okay, I'll go to the bar then, to wherever.
He's gonna follow the
But if you're looking for the captain too, that's Captain Porter.
Captain of the boat?
Yep,
Where's he?
on the boat.
Okay.
I like this guy.
Well, are we going with them anyway eventually? To get out to the ghost ship?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. So I'll
that's who's
wait.
taking us to the ghost ship.
Okay.
The advantage.
Yeah, but okay, I'll wait. Then I'll just go to the bar then. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
I'll just take half a pound of meat,
What was the captain?
shred it up, and then
Captain
a
Porter.
cabbage.
Hmm?
And one of the heads of cabbage, shred that up, and just sit it in front of the pig, and then sit down and wait.
Oh, he eats it. He
Yeah.
eats it. He said. Make an animal handling check. Poor favor.
We don't have to worry about the griffins today, right?
15.
Hey, nice.
15. Excellent. This is so stupid. This has it set as dates for some reason. My success and fails have been listed as dates.
3
If you attach a letter to the front of it with no space, it should probably overcome that.
Or
Right-click
the
format.
apostrophe.
Do we have to worry
Yes.
about the griffins today or no?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
They count on you, or they're counting on you for food right now.
I didn't know if it was.
I'm gonna head to head. You guys discuss plans.
I mean, we've already planned. We're going to the bar.
Keep planning. Talk more.
As we saunter down the portside streets and
I'm waiting for this sun
cast
to
our eyes
set.
on the disheveled buildings, we realize this is a place of poverty and lawlessness. We see no guards wandering around. Nothing really.
You guys are already at the bar, right?
We're making our way
I mean,
there.
we went to the bar where you went to the port, so we're probably closer to. We may be at. I don't know how far the bar is.
Destitute people of an age far beyond conscription, or an age far below conscription,
Some age. Of some sort.
wander aimlessly about, children without a goal,
Octogenarians attempting to wrangle 10-year-olds.
octogenarians while past their goals and trapped in their own lifeless despair, wondering if ever there will
It's
be
not
a
despair,
future.
it's dementia.
I'm old.
If they're lucky, it's dementia.
It's kind of fun. God, what is it? I can make rude gestures at children and take my pants off in public, and no one says a sly word to me. Oh, that sounds pretty awesome. What's the downside of that? And sometimes I find myself with my pants off in public and making rude gestures at children, and I'm not sure how I got there.
Well, look at the bright side. At least you can meet new people every day.
I like you, Monty.
Do I
I like you
actually-
too, sir.
Like, how long does it take them to get to the bar?
Not very long. You guys passed it on the way by.
I like you
Should
too,
I?
Monty.
Oh, so they're probably at the bar by the time I'm done talking to you?
Yeah.
Well then, I will come in.
All right. So you're heading into the
We
bar.
described the port for you. It was glorious.
Did you?
They kind of.
You're
Watch
welcome.
that mod.
Okay, fair enough. So you
Time
guys, you head over to the open door that you saw before, with the chimney kind of billowing out some dark colored smoke. You walk inside the narrow door. You're greeted by
What season is it?
summer.
Okay, like midsummer.
Yeah.
Cool. I was just trying to get a feel for temperature and
Hit my shit on this
and
thing.
weather and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. So it's a balmy 75, 80 degrees outside right now.
It's about the room.
Humid though.
Yeah.
Humid.
Mine.
Like
Um,
today, Jesus.
So you head into the bar. You're greeted by 3 tables, each with 3 chairs, multiple people standing around each one. Some sitting down, some standing, some gathered up around the bar, laughing and joking, and sort of like just a whole bit of a rabble going on. There seems to be an individual behind the bar, dark colored, kind of like curly hair, kind of like large features, a little bit overweight, and they seem to like move back and forth.
Just quick guesstimate how many people are in here right now?
Probably about like 35.
Okay.
Like it's packed.
Okay.
And they're just loudly talking about nothing, laughing and joking, pushing each other, standard rabble rousing.
Well,
type
we'll head
things.
up to the bar. How much for an ale, sir?
Wait, no, sorry. 2 silver.
That seems outlandish.
It's 2 silver.
You're outlandish.
Glass of the cranberry juice, please.
We got water and ale. What do you want?
Is that it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Nothing stronger?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
This is a bar.
Yeah.
Huh.
You notice there's no regalia on the walls. The place is dimly lit, even with the windows open, which are like kind of like dirtied and. What would you want?
What do you want?
What are you buying? What are you selling?
I'm gonna grab Maw and just pull him from the bartender.
Mhm.
Just ignore the bartender. This establishment is pathetic.
Yes.
I think it would be in our best interest to go to the ship now. I don't think we're gonna learn anything here.
Anybody want to make a listening check? Perception check
I'll
with
make
your
one fun.
ears?
Yeah.
I will.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Nice.
14.
14?
A bit higher than that.
A bit higher.
18.
18. So, you both, amongst the kind of like nonsense being spouted back and forth, you hear ghost ship, scary, a couple people are like, who's gonna fucking get you? With that, you also hear about a strange building in the water. You hear about
You hearing this shit?
rumors of ships going missing. You hear rumors of the sewer system being used as a dungeon. You hear rumors of the alleged Sahagin or Katoa threat in the area that no one's ever seen or heard of or encountered. You hear a bunch of rumors amongst all the people here just kind of like shit talking.
What if we offer a drink to anybody that's got an interesting story or rumor? Because I'm hearing a lot of things that I'd like to hear more about.
Did she walk in?
Yep.
Okay.
Is
Did
that
you
a
speak
pushing
to the
back?
harbor master?
I come. Excuse me. Pushing through.
Come like, ugh.
Excuse me. All right.
Drinks are expensive here.
Oh, really?
Yes, and probably gross.
Mm.
All
But-
of the ale. That's
Okay.
That's
I
Are we
sh-
staying here?
I should have enough to buy a lot of drinks.
Huh?
I should have enough to buy a lot of drinks.
Yeah, but do we need a lot of drinks here?
No, but we do need information.
Supply information to people.
Okay.
If you want to talk to people, I need to talk to her real quick.
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna
the harbor
pee off the
master?
side of the dock.
Yeah.
Hanging out the dock still.
Apparently, there's
Yeah, I'm
no
gonna pee off
ships
the side of
going
the
in or
dock.
out because they're expecting Lurin to attack because of the lizard people.
Fair.
The ship we're getting on later today we can hire to take us.
Wait, there's no ships going out because of the lizard, or because of the Lurin attack?
They're worried about Lurin attacking, so they've got like the Navy, like guarding
that-
in case.
But that shouldn't stop supply ships. That should stop normal like traffic and the Navy ships from coming in and out. They would be out in formation instead of here in the harbor.
They said that they don't have anybody scheduled to come in do deliveries.
Seems peculiar to me. Usually, the reason you have a harbor is because you have people coming in with shipments. And I overheard when I was talking with Ma that they said that there are rumors of ships disappearing. That could be a possibility there. There could be ships coming into town that aren't making it to town for whatever reason. That might have something to do with the coast ship, or it might be bad sailors. So did you get into contact with the captain or whoever of the boat?
No, they're on the boat right now, so we have to wait till I get on the boat to talk to them.
Okay, how do we get on the boat?
Well, are you unrelated for the ghost ship?
I mean, yes, but we probably want to talk to the captain and see what they know.
He's on the boat too.
Okay, so how do we get to the boat?
How do we know?
There was 4 smaller
yeah.
vessels that were.
Take us. Do we want to do that now,
I mean,
or do you want to wait?
we should probably get some information here. I think Ma's right about that.
Okay.
We should talk to these people for a little while longer.
Okay.
But we should definitely talk to the captain and the quartermaster before the ship appears.
Yeah. So we should go like stay here a little bit, like maybe an hour, and then go.
Yeah, probably.
And then I have to
Lovely.
sit
You know,
with this.
do you know how to move a ship
No.
or a boat to get to a ship?
Do they know?
I don't know. Have I talked to them?
Your friend?
Oh, them? I don't
Yeah,
know.
those ones, those guys.
I don't know if they do. I've never seen them row a boat. I thought you were talking about the people
No,
in the bar,
I
and I was
was
like, do
pointing to
I
them.
talk, do I
I
talk to
know.
those people?
I spoke to the people we
Rarely.
spent a very long time with so far.
So, what are you guys doing? What are you guys
All right.
hanging out in the dock
It's
still?
2 months is all.
No, I'm in the bar and I'm
Uh-huh.
drinking.
I want to be the first one to see it.
Okay.
Gentlemen, I have an offer for all of you. I'm a traveler,
Oh god.
and I will offer a drink to anybody that's got an interesting story or rumor for me.
I think this is going to do us yes.
You think?
Yes, because it's Ma's money, not ours.
I've
I
got
mean-
Ra's money.
Not
Everyone lines
I've
up.
got Ra's money. I have money,
Everyone.
it's just not mine.
They all, "Yarr!" and they come running over like.
Oh god. This isn't safe!
I mean, it's
To give everyone a drink in the bar, it's gonna cost you roughly 70 silver.
70. He said it was
Seven.
2 each, and there was 35 people inside.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just 35 times 2.
Well, if
Taxes.
I take 95 silver and divide it by 2, I get 47.
Why would you do that?
That's how many people I could get a drink for.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
No,
what?
no, it's 35 times 2 is 70.
Yeah.
Which is correct, math.
Yes,
Yeah.
And
I have a calculator. Told me I was
7
right.
gold will buy everyone in the bar a drink.
Yeah, 7
Yes.
gold. You can buy everyone a
I don't
drink.
have 7 gold. I have like 8 platinum.
Rod does.
Okay, 8 platinum is
8.
A platinum.
9.
That's
You have
10 gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to use that. I want to use my shitty silver.
Oh, you
So you have enough 70. You have 70
Yes.
silver. All right. So you begin doling it out. The bartender kind of like perks up a bit. All right, I'll get you the good stuff, and then begins like carting the silver into his or her pouch, and then turns around and taps the last barrel on the wall that they have currently set up, and starts filling it up with decent ale. Starts kind of one at a time, filling them up. And as people are filling them, they're like, oh, and they like come up to you, they bump into you, giving you like the old the elbow, ribbing you a little bit there. And you get a number of stories. People tell you about their experiences in bordellos, like, getting chased off by the management or getting the guards called on them for branding, somebody.
Always good.
Ne'er do wells.
I
Neil
tagged
Patrick
rumor
Harris,
in
keep
there.
branded
But
hookers. Huh?
it's fine.
But
I'm enjoying
You typed
this.
rumor into Google and
Yeah.
I just got a bunch of.
And
You
I'm
got,
okay with this.
Yeah.
you got
Ah, shit, backspace.
you get like one guy's tender love story with a member of another ship.
Oh.
What do you
Hey!
want to say? It's
We're having a rabble rousing good time.
saucy love affair.
I
However,
should write a
you do
book
get-
about this.
You do get that one of the gentlemen that comes up to you. He basically explains that he's like, yeah, crazy shit. But a couple weeks after the Frozen Moon Festival, I don't know if you were
Mm-hmm.
here. Well, a couple weeks after then, off the coastline, people started saying they saw like a structure, like a temple or some shit, in the water, like sticking out.
Whereabouts?
It's about maybe like a day or two off the coast south of Alavra. But not everybody's found it. Some people did find it, but yeah, that shit's crazy. Some people even claim to have gone inside. You get the people dying. I don't know anybody who's gonna stop off by some building in the fucking water.
Now
Let me
you
tell
do.
something. Like, but that happened, and he kind of goes on. He gives you a couple more, horror stories. Somebody's like, "Oh, we saw it. Monsters came out," and some other people are, just the nonsense that you hear with any sort of thing like that. What else? What else is on that rumor list?
Sewer dungeons.
You hear that. Well, first you hear about the Katoa. So the major threat in the area are hives of Katoa that live under the water, obviously, off the coast. However, they've been a threat to Galarin for years, and people have seen them on and off. But over the recent, maybe since 5 years ago, no one's seen them. And the rumor is that either the Duke made a deal with them, or he once and for all defeated them. However, he still claims that the Katoa threat is out there.
So he probably didn't.
Maybe they summon Sloobadoop-a-doop-a-doop.
I mean, you're here too, Theta, if you want
I
to.
know I am, but I'm not going to talk in front of these people.
Fair enough.
Then you get another one where the sewer system that they recently completed was just a guise to build an underground labyrinth in the actual cliff face, which is why the private beach has a door in the mountain or in the cliff face itself that no one knows where it goes. But it's always guarded. So they think that's kind of suspicious. And then that guy kind of rolls out. What else? You hear potentially there are rumors that the Duke is experimenting, basically doing experiments to try to improve people, try to make them better, or try to mix them with other things.
I mean,
attempt to raise an army.
I could see that being very true.
Yeah.
He seems like that kind of super realist.
So you hear about that, him trying to create abominations to fight in wars, but no one's seen or heard anything of that. It's just stuff around the water cooler, you know. You hear about the ghost ship. You hear that they told the one of the guys, super drunk, sloshing all over the place, spilling his drink. He's kind of getting way too close to you when he talks. You know, you can smell just the nastiness of his breath, and he's just we told him that we cleared the deck of that bitch. No one's going on that motherfucker. Who's gonna go on a fucking ship? Come on. He's then we got a couple boys drunk. Got them a little too drunk. Not because I miss them, but we got them a little drunk, and a couple guys went over there, and they never came back, man. Never. So they're either partying it up and got their own ship, or they did.
Does the ship sail in and out?
Yeah.
So they may have taken the ship back to wherever.
Sails, or does it appear and vanish?
Well, it does not appear and vanish. It drives itself in, and it drives itself out.
I see.
But it's got no mass and no sails. I don't know how that's possible.
It's a ghost ship.
It's a ghost ship.
It's magic.
Does it?
Yeah.
Does it glow in any way?
Sometimes you can see lights on it, but I thought that was this.
Does it have terrible 1970s?
Right. It comes in with the fog.
Synthesizer?
Yeah.
Well, lovely. Is that all the gossip?
Yeah, for the most part. Anything else? Because I think I might have mentioned something else. I forgot about.
No, I think
that's
that
it.
was it.
Katoa, sorry.
Ships are disappearing.
Katoa threat.
Ships are disappearing. You hear
Change that for yourself.
allegedly, or popular rumor is that to the south of here, there's an island somewhere that no one's been able to discover, actually get eyes on, but they claim it's a popular pirate hangout, and so pirate ships. It's a pretty popular.
Does it have a name?
No one knows. It doesn't exist. Basically, it's
is there a rumor name they know it by?
No.
Like when you say the secret
The
isle.
Blood
or,
Island.
no.
Or the Vanishing Isle, or
Probably the
Or-
pirates hideout.
Sandy Shore.
They just
whatever.
call it they just call it a pirate's den.
What was what's the water deity?
Leviathan.
Aldrich?
Leviathan.
Oh,
yeah.
Sedla.
Leviathan.
Yeah, that's
Like
what it was.
Leviathan's eye or something.
I don't know.
Sedla's anus.
So wait,
And they suspect that this pirate hideout is why.
There's a heavy ships are going missing is because there is a heavy presence of pirates in this area, due to the fact that the coastline of Alabra comes up and the coastline of Lorin comes up. So basically there's a gap there that's where they fight mostly, but then the south is relatively untouched until you reach caps, polar caps. So there are islands obviously probably out there, but no one's ever
Charted it.
Fair.
Yeah, no one's ever
Okay.
charted it. There's been no reason to.
Ma.
And then after they finish, we'll let them go, and then I'll get our group together.
Sit around the table conspiratorially.
Okay.
Well, we don't have a table to sit around.
No.
Yeah.
We go outside.
We'll probably head outside, make our way to the ship.
Okay, so you start heading to the harbor.
Hold on, I don't want to go any
Well,
further.
just outside
Yeah.
the bar.
Okay.
So, that's what we've got.
So my concern, and I don't know if this is true because rumors are rumors and gossip is worthless, but if the Duke made a deal with the Katoa, do you think he could be making use of a Katoan forge right now?
Possible. Well, alright, so given all of these rumors, the only one that doesn't necessarily fit, as a matter of speaking, would be the tower in the water south of Alavra. That's days away from here.
Sure.
But
We gotta
realistically,
get
the Katoa threat, the sewer system labyrinth, Duke experiments, ghost ship, the ship's disappearing on the island in the south. I mean, there's a chance all of those are connected somehow. If the Duke made a deal with the Katoa,
He
his
could be using the
sewers could be a labyrinth
to
to
get to him or to access the city.
yes,
Or there's also the chance that all of it's bull penis.
which is entirely possible. I think
Well, you were saying you thought it was weird that nobody is scheduled to come in and deliver goods and stuff.
That is
too.
peculiar.
Do you think what would it have to do with this stuff?
Well, I mean, it
The
could have
ship's
to do with the war,
disappearing.
but you need to finance a war, and you need to finance a war, and you need to fund a war through supplies.
and realistically speaking, if this island in the south isn't a pirate hideout but a Katoa station,
Or it could be both.
Katoa pirates.
So, I will rise again the question: how do we get out to the ship to get to the ghost ship?
We have like a little fleet of people that are take us out there. Like
Okay, where are those
one of the
people?
little ship. Where is this
Inside.
ship?
In the bar.
I imagine some of them would have identified as, I was on the Advantage and I fucked a fucking
Oh, yeah, a
cabin
lot of
boy.
them.
I nailed a mermaid.
Yeah, I thought so.
So,
Like-
It was a reverse mermaid too.
Almost
Top
like
half.
30 out of 35 of them were all from the Advantage.
Yeah.
So, I say that we should probably round them up and get going to get out to the ship. Is it dark yet?
It's getting there, yeah. You guys have been hanging out for a while,
Yeah.
talking
We
and
gotta
listening
go
to all these nonsense.
Feed the griffins.
But the ghost ship.
I mean,
It
it's still gonna be there.
doesn't take long though. It's just run outside of town.
Yeah.
Get their attention, throw it out.
It's not like that's gonna take long. So
Okay. Also, I'm not a persuasive person. People don't listen to me.
I don't know that we need to
No.
round them up. I think they'll be heading back to the ship for nightfall. I didn't mean where are they going to stay? 3 gold at the inn in Uptown? Please.
That's right. It's very expensive.
They'll probably be going back to the ship. If you want to wait for us,
These are probably wartime prices.
hmm.
And if there's not a lot of supplies coming in,
Or they're
that's
just
the reason he's only got ale.
just price gougers.
Well, there's that. They're also price gougers. That goes without saying because that's what causes this to happen. But that's why it's happening is because they can't restock as
Yeah.
easily or as readily. And if you're a bar and you run out of the only thing you sell, you're not a bar anymore.
Yeah.
So
You're a room.
That's what worries me is that it's wartime and these rumors could very easily just be spouting because of that, but the consistency and the connectivity of them along with the timing
so
seems
So go feed your bird cats.
okay. If we're like going back to Alavra and we pass by that temple thing, are we gonna stop?
absolutely.
Okay. So,
If, as Zongak is wont to say, adventure,
so what all do we want to do?
everything. But first, ghost ship.
We'll go. Okay, so I'm gonna
We'll
list-
we'll deal with the rest of it as it
Ghost
comes to pass.
Well,
It's also
yeah,
peculiar that a ghost ship arrives and does nothing.
also because the harbor is blocked, so it's weird that they say it doesn't sail in.
It does sail in.
Or it's yeah, but how's it sailing if it's blocked?
It's a ghost ship.
I don't think they can stop it.
Okay.
Also, it clearly emanates from a point.
So ghost ship. Do we want to explore the sewers?
Well,
The Duke is sending us to the ghost ship, so I think it's pretty safe to assume that he's not connected with it. Unless this is, oh my god, unless,
it's an elaborate ruse.
Lord Cog, if this is a ploy, everyone who's gone on the ghost ship that we've heard about has died.
Mm-hmm.
He is responsible for taking Beryl Black Mountain back to her house. We are
Yes.
the only people who know that.
Right.
So if he wants to kill her cleanly, he's separated us from her. He sends us out to a ship full of his guards that just murder people to keep people scared and focus on something other than the war. And then he kills us there. Then he kills Beryl. And then I don't know what that gets him. I'm not political, but then she's dead.
Can Katoa do like illusionary magic?
You don't know.
Feasibly. Well, Theta.
Anything with a brain's capable of magic.
Yeah.
As long as it like learns.
That is definitely on the docket as a possibility, and we obviously are going into this ghost ship completely blind. So I intend to raise all manner of hell, plural.
So wait, we want to do the sewers.
I imagine while you're doing this, you're walking to the dock.
Yes.
Well,
We
gotta
look.
feed
Oh, they're going to feed their birds.
Lou, let's hold off on formulating a plan in its entirety. As Theta said, this ghost ship could very well be a trap. We'll focus on the ghost ship first, and when we make it back, when we make it back, we'll tackle the sewers next, or we'll see what access we can get.
That would be such an elaborate trap. I would be so impressed.
I mean, having met the man, he seems capable of such, at least.
Great garden.
Yes.
Not
Hey.
literally and
All right, we will meet you back at the harbor. We're going to go attempt to wrangle some monsters. I mean,
Guy, you want to go
griffins.
look for the ghost ship?
I just think it's funny they're gonna go feed griffins with nothing.
we have food.
I have all the meat.
He has all the meat,
I have 4 pounds of horse meat on me.
Ooh, girl.
and I would like to get some meat from you.
So
So he goes to you, gets the stuff.
Come
For the
with
sake of brevity, I want both of you to make your animal handling check, please.
Oof.
For the sake of beverage.
Ooh.
How many fingers are you losing today?
Fucking probably more than I want, but 20.
Oh.
I got a 20 as well.
Natural or with?
Not natural.
No.
18 plus 2.
18 plus
Hey!
2.
Go team.
You're like the wrong people
Grip and
to
touching
be.
buddies.
Well, then, hold on.
Wait, oh, the second one. Wait.
Put your hand on the thing there.
Back
You
a bit.
go. Yes.
Good one. Right there. There you go.
Okay, so you guys exit out. You guys walk outside of town. You give yourself a good distance. You walk into you try to find like a clearing, an open area where you can kind of look for them. It doesn't take long for them to kind of spot you before you spot them, and then they kind of like land in the trees and begin making their way down. They approach cautiously at first, but with all this food, you basically bring out like a bunch of food and kind of lay it out for them. They kind of like approach egerly. They begin to eat.
How close are they to us?
They're gonna be right up on you.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
I
gonna
had
eat
to
from
do
your
this till
hand.
I had to try to gently
Pet it. Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
We're just gonna
Oh,
play
no.
Oh, that's a good play. Oh, I like the
9.
pet.
Wait,
Wow,
no.
that's a 9? No, that's
It's
stealth.
7.
Yeah, 7.
7.
It does not move as you pet it.
Oh.
I'm just gonna play with
I
mine
don't
a
pet it
little
like-
bit.
Huh?
I'll be like, huh? Hey!
Okay, that's fine.
I don't pet it with my whole hand, just like moving.
Make a animal handling check, please.
That's an 18.
18. As you do, it seems game.
Yeah, boy.
Snatching it out of the air, and so you guys do that.
Okay.
Once you guys start taking off, they watch.
Wave bye.
They just kind of like stare at you,
Kitty.
and then you guys head out. You guys return back. You guys are waiting at the dock. As you guys are waiting at the dock, a couple of the drunk crewmen begin to arrive, like the ones that couldn't hang. So they're like staggering their way out. They're laughing. One guy falls. They kind of like they're singing. Yeah. What are you doing with the dragons? They're all singing, having a good time. As they approach, you notice
I can
that the
I learned in prison.
that's true. That is true. So as you wait, the portmaster comes back out because he wasn't just hanging out outside with y'all. But he returns as they all come out, and he begins kind of marking off that they're fucking leaving. You know, they all like wave to him and shit. He's just like marking their shit off. At which point he kind of looks at you guys and he's just like, "If y'all waiting for a ride, there it is."
Oh, that's how we go. Are they back?
Drunk guy with
I'd
pee
say
on
no.
your pants. I'm coming with you.
All right, we're getting in the boat. Hooray!
Are you?
We're coming with you. We didn't introduce ourselves.
Portmaster?
Wait, is this the guy I already talked to?
Yes.
Okay.
Portmaster.
never mind. Okay.
I'm gonna go up to the drunken people and say, "We didn't introduce ourselves. We are the traveling band of people who are going to idiotically go onto that boat."
Oh yeah, dead people. Let's go. Get
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
boat.
Well, I'm not people, but thank you.
Are you not? You're not like a kid or nothing.
Actually, to be fair, I guess only one of us is people.
There's like 3 right now. I'm not sure which one you are.
Fair.
But nice to meet.
And I'm gonna
all of
hold
you.
my hands out and then just spin them.
The world is spinning. Uh-oh. the
Bruh.
camera.
There's a whole harbor here for him to throw up, and it'll be fine.
And then yeah, you guys get on the boat.
Pick the harbor.
You are escorted. So they rotate rowing. They rotate far more frequently than necessary. They vomit off the side. Some of them just like stop.
While we're going,
I'll offer to help.
I would like to go find the captain.
He's not on
He's
these
on
boats.
the
Not
boat. He's on the ship.
These are
not
He's on the
rowboats.
boat.
Rowboats.
Oh,
He's
we're
on
going
the
out.
ship.
You're on the little
That's right.
rowboats and you're taken out onto the
My
seas.
bad.
And you're. Let me go ahead and get you some
Thought we were
sea.
there.
The captain's not hanging out on the rowboat.
I know.
All right.
I thought we were.
He's not Washington,
Bow,
man.
like,
So
yeah.
An unusually lengthy boat ride
Yeah.
brings you to the rope ladder that leads up to the side of the Advantage. This average-looking galleon seems in decent condition. Signs of weathering adorn the sides, interspersed with various signs of collision, burns, and deep gouges that have been all patched. Once you land on the deck, you can see a still wet deck. There's currently a guy mopping, kind of like grumbling to himself. He just goes back and forth. And looking around, you can see faint signs of red ingrained in the wood, which you can only imagine is probably blood. The white sails are all tied down to the mast right now, but the crew is currently alive as they seem to be preparing to set sail. At which point, as the gentlemen that are kind of like, oh, captain, they point to where the captain's quarters is, which is in the back end of the ship. You do notice that there is a woman and a man standing side by side, currently conversing at the helm. At the helm. But as they do so, one of the guys is like, but fucking look, and he points off the side of the boat further out towards the harbor, where you can see that, like, just slowly making its way in, just an empty vessel with a broken mast. The main mast seems intact, but there's no sails. It's just like tatters that hang off it. Not even like tattered as in like full. It's just like little pieces of cloth flittering in the wind. In the back mast.
There's no image of the sails, a ghostly image or facade or anything. Okay.
Nope. And then the back mast is like split in twain down the center.
Really, really hope this isn't like a terrible political trap.
But it just kind of like moves its way in, and they're all. You notice a couple guys stop to watch it, but
You
they've
guys
probably
worry
seen
too
it like
much.
3 times by now, and they
It's
Well-
no adventure.
That's what I hope to do.
But the boat rocks gently side to side as you sit there, and then
Fucking sad, too sad.
you are brought up towards the. As you approach the where the helm is, they stop you at the stairs. You were on a ship for a very long time. You know that's the fucking dead spot. You're not allowed to pass that point. So you're stopped at the stairs. At which point, a young-looking woman begins stepping down, and behind her, an older-looking gentleman in what you would traditionally regale with like a captain's outfit. The young woman is finely dressed, but she is in pants, boots. She wears a bandana that's over top of like a tricorn style hat. And as she steps down, she's like, "Are you my adventurers?"
We are.
Yes.
Excellent.
That's Hamhock.
Sure. I am Nadosa von Lote. I am the quartermaster of this vessel, the Advantage. I will be your. I'm going to be in charge of you as well as your escort. We will get you close to the vessel, but we won't pull. We're not boarding, so you'll be taking a smaller vessel to that one. We'll provide you with hooks and a ladder to secure yourself.
Is there not already a ladder?
Not on the side of that vessel, no. That vessel's in all states of disrepair from what we can see. And then she, since you've already heard it once, she lies blatantly. She's like, "Yeah, we swept it once and didn't find anything." And then a couple nights ago, on a drunken dare, a couple of our people stole a boat and headed over there.
Did you get the boat back?
Nope,
Do you hear anything when they went over?
it's too far away.
Well, I will say this,
They rode out in the night.
Miss Lote. I imagine we'll probably be staying on the boat to see where it goes when it leaves.
Well, more power to you. I will provide you with a driver to get you there, and then he will promptly leave,
Mhm.
and it'll be up to you guys to signal us backfire or something. But just
Indeed.
give us a signal.
Do we have a spell that does light or fire or?
I could
We
just
have-
set the boat on fire.
We have
Well, yes,
torches.
we'll be on the boat, Zongak.
We have torches. We'll figure something out.
Yep, just signal us. Feel free to wave your hands above your head, whatever you got to do. Do the hokey pokey.
Let's say 2 torches, touching, parted, and touching again will be us.
Okay, she turns to the captain, the older looking gentleman, kind of like
Down, please.
big bushy brown beard. He has also wearing a bandana. Currently, he has like one of those like heavy-looking captain's coats. He's currently standing at the helm, and he's like, "Got it." And then she kind of like turns to you, and she's like, "Well, if you are ready to depart, we will set sail and get close."
I believe we are ready.
She kind of like walks out, and then she begins calling like, "All hands on deck! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!" And people begin piling out from underneath.
Off the port side.
And then they begin singing, "We're swabbing the deck, which is Navy."
Yo ho,
Let's
yo
swab
ho. But they begin, and it takes about a crew of like 8 men per sail to start getting each, like to work on the rigging to get the sails down, and they begin adjusting everything. They pull anchor, which you can hear underneath. You can hear this heavy like, as they don't seem to have a mechanism for it. They're doing it by hand. They're actually pulling it. They have a cruise underneath.
They don't have an anchor winch?
Nope.
Jesus.
It's a group
That
of dudes underneath that are
sucks.
pulling it out from the water.
Anchor winch is like the best part of a ship.
Yeah.
Nadosa and Porter still standing next to each other?
Porter is up in the helm. He's currently like standing at the wheel. But she is standing on the deck calling out commands to people. Okay. Once they begin to die down, they begin to wheel the ship around, and they begin heading towards the ghost
How
vessel.
long will it take us to get to the smaller vessel that's going to take us to the ghost ship?
Well, they're gonna lower the smaller vessel off the side, so it's only gonna
Okay,
take.
so then how long will
They're
it
just getting closer. It's not gonna take very long at all. After about
Maybe an hour.
huh?
Maybe an hour.
Probably less
tops.
than that. But what do you want to do in the meantime?
Well, I can't attune to the hammer now. So,
I would say over the time, spending time with it.
Yeah, we haven't really done anything
Worth trying,
particularly
yes.
stressful.
Worth trying.
The DM is saying it. Try it.
okay,
For the
But
love
I'm-
of your God, try it.
but I wanted to
For
ask
the love of your God, try it.
you let me know
No.
now. I was gonna ask questions.
What do you want to ask her?
Well, I wanted to ask her, where the ship came from, the advantage.
The advantage?
Yeah.
She turns and looks. She's like, "This is my vessel."
Are you
So-
from here?
No,
Where did you guys?
we don't have a home. We go from port to port as necessary.
how-
Take jobs, contracts, privateer in our free time, and deliver that stuff to a law firm.
How long will you be here for?
As long as we have
How does the
our
artist-
money inflow from the Duke, we'll hang out.
So this is like an open-ended contract for you?
Yeah. Or when I see fit to leave and collect payment.
If you don't mind me asking, how much did the Duke pay you to do that? Or is this just like an allowance thing that you get? Like,
It's basically per day that we're here. It's like
Okay.
50 gold a day.
Um,
We hang out.
well, we are looking for passage to Alava, and we were told that you'd be the person to do that.
Potentially. How much you offering for a ride? It's got to be worth my time. 50 gold a day.
I'm not in a position to negotiate prices right now, so I will talk to the rest of my crew members. They're not a crew.
All right.
And,
They're not a crew, she says.
It just came out because I'm talking pirate stuff.
All right.
But
Privateer.
privateering things. How long does it take to get to Alava from here?
Depends. You got yourself a weather witch. We don't. So it takes a little bit longer.
Like how?
Best guess, like 20 some days maybe.
Okay. I mean, hey, we just.
That's a
walked
guess. I would have to actually chart the course. But if you stop in cities like Saradiel, you know,
You
get
guys
some
have
work
to
there. I mean, if we charter a thing, we might have to stop for supplies.
Do you
This
require,
city's kind of ransacked as far as supplies are. We're running fucking low.
Where exactly do you sail into Alava?
Sail into the actual harbor itself, into the port.
Do you require payment up front or when you get there?
Half up front, half when we get there.
I will talk to the rest of the people.
Or half up front, we throw it over the side.
Okay.
That's it. She laughs, and then she like walks away.
Is that 1,000 gold?
Total.
20 days, 50 gold a day.
Yeah.
So, but then again, she could just stay here for that money.
Yeah.
You know, you'd have to make it worth more.
Yeah.
But after a little bit hanging around on deck, people move around you very quickly, getting everything in position. They get kind of close to the ship, and as they approach, you can see this almost like this grime-covered vessel. It reeks of stale air and mold. When the wind changes, you get like carrion and death amongst it. strange mist adorns the bottom of the boat, where it's kind of like it's like spilling out over the water a little bit, and the boat itself seems to almost have like that haze of like cold air coming off it.
Is the boat level?
It seems to be like it
It's
rocks,
not,
but
it's not listing.
it's not.
listing.
No, it doesn't seem to be too messed up. But you're lowered into a smaller vessel. They lower it into off the side, at which point, once you hit the bottom, the rower begins heaving you over, lit by
What's the
lantern
rower's
light.
name? What's your name, sir?
Tim the rower.
Lovely to meet you, Tim. How long
Tim
have you been on
Allen.
this vessel?
I've been on this vessel for way too long.
That's not an amount of time.
Way too long.
It's purely subjective.
Listen, I've been on this vessel for like 6 months,
Oh,
and he's just rowing. He's just rowing as he goes.
what do you normally do?
Make rope.
Oh, you make rope.
Makes rope.
Oh, are you good at making rope?
Obviously not if I had to switch professions.
Oh shit.
I mean, this doesn't mean you're expendable, but
What? But
Don't
he gets you up to
listen.
the.
Don't listen to him. He does that.
He bumps into the side of the other boat.
Oh.
Kind of like panics for a minute.
I'm sorry.
He pulls out from the side. They have the 2 large hooks, and he hooks up the first half of the ladder, and then hooks up the second half of the ladder. Once the rope ladder is fully attached with its metal hooks, he brings the 2 long poles down and sets them down in the ship, and then he motions for you guys to.
Oh.
fairly
climb
well,
up.
Tim. It was nice meeting you.
As soon as I'm
Get
done.
better making rope.
He just dives off the
Oh no!
I'm part mermaid.
As soon as I'm done talking to Nidos, I go and spend time with
Okay, so you attune to it? Yeah, I would say
I
over that.
assume to it.
I'd say from the time you got it to now would be plenty of time too.
Okay, I let you.
As long as you spend time petting your hammer.
Yes.
All right,
So,
I'll climb
are
up
you
first.
leaving Hamhock on the other ship? Because you have
Yeah.
to come back there
I would put him down in the like brig or something,
in the
so
hold.
he doesn't attack anybody.
Sure.
Oh jeez. I
Would
didn't
you
think
would you
about
have
that.
asked somebody where you can tie your pickup?
Yeah.
They acquiesced, confused at the request, but okay.
And then I leave a potato, carrot, and the other half-pound,
Cabbage or
Yeah.
meat.
or the half-pound of meat.
Okay, throw it in there with him. You just kind of like. But all right, so you guys find yourself on the ship.
Oh wait, we're fast forward.
The deck of this.
You just
Well, yeah, you.
climbed up and Tim fucked off and nobody.
Yeah, Tim rows away. As he
Crying.
rows
Is he
away.
any good at rowing?
Yeah, he's all right.
Okay.
He seems to get winded though. He stops.
Oh no, Tim.
He's fine.
What is too
Um,
bad?
Through him is surprisingly bright.
The deck of this grime-covered vessel reeks of stale air, mold, carrion, and death. Amongst the strangely mist-covered wood are bits of stray cloth.
Oh, you should make these green right now.
Tattered remnants of the sails rest intertwined with the railings. The deck is eerily cold. From this high up, strangely enough, it's even difficult to hear the lapping of the waves below. The ship groans unnaturally against its frame as it sways from side to side. That like heavy, like the whole thing seems to be like almost like it's stressing under its own weight. The main mast seems to be warped but relatively intact. The front mast is snapped in half, and its length runs down along the front end of the boat into the water itself. The rear mast seems splintered along its side and splits in 2 at the top, and its sail is entirely missing. At the far back towards towards the far back and towards the nose are 2 higher decks that seem to have large looking doors. But amongst the sort of like smattering of mist that seems to exist on the front of the surface of the boat, you can see a hole or a passage to get into the hole, basically.
Sir,
Yes.
we have 10 minutes left.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Do we want to call it here before
No,
you reveal the
they
map?
want to start something.
She wants to start something.
Well, I mean, that's super great for her.
Do you need a hand?
Apparently it's
What,
stuck
you
to the
just
thing.
want to end early?
I mean, I've got to leave in 10 minutes.
I know.
Trying to hit all the mics.
I know. Did I hit anyone? Did I hit
Yeah, you hit this one and yours several
anyone? Oh,
times.
fuck.
It's okay, I didn't hear anything.
Right. Okay. So that is what the ghost ship looks like.
All right, and as soon as I get on deck, I want to take a look around and see if I can see traces of any people that were previous there or are there.
All right, go ahead and make a perception check, please.
Are we
Well,
particularly close
I
to
didn't see
either
anything.
door?
Huh?
Are we particularly close to either of the doors you were talking about?
Well, now I'm worried about getting minis out since you said you only got a couple minutes
Hey,
left.
I mean, we can at least set up what we're going to be doing. I just wanted to know if you wanted to, instead of flipping it now, you
Let
can
me
flip
pull
it
up this
later.
steam and hold on.
Here, you know what? You guys will be these 4 peoples right here. These 4 little.
You're in timeout, Dice.
These 4 little
You've
midgets
done
right
one
here.
roll tonight, and it's
Oh,
been the
that
worst.
was okay. Pew, pew.
What did you
That's
do
us.
too?
Where's 4 and where's Aft?
Speaking of which, I got all my
That way.
ghost people from Warhammer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be upset because I don't know what side those are.
4 is front.
4 is forward.
Forward.
Aft is back.
Sure, aft is that way.
Aft is like ass.
Thank you. So
No,
the
think
ship is
about
pointing
aft,
towards you.
like the bottom of
Yes.
your shaft.
Thank you.
Correct. Whatever that means.
And that is
So-
port, and this is starboard.
4.
You're all around. You're all along that edge as you climb up individually. What was your roll?
Well, with the perception bonus, it comes out to a 6, which is bad because I got a +5.
So, looking around, no, amongst the sort of like mist that hovers over things, it's hard to really tell what's going on.
misty as shit.
It's surprisingly dark. However, occasionally in the far aft and in the far front, you can see these little flits of light occasionally that appear and disappear.
Yes, I will light my lantern.
Oh shit! I have a lantern. I will light my lantern.
Okay, you light yours as well. It illuminates 30 feet or 60 feet, depending on the setting. Do you have a hooded or a
Bullseye.
Yes,
bullseye? 60 feet.
mine is hooded as well.
Hooded is 30 feet if it's hood's drawn, and 60 feet if it's hood's up, I believe.
Bullseye's 120, but it's like super tiny. It's like a flashlight.
Yeah.
His is 60, hood up.
It's hooded.
Okay, so you bring it down to the
my light,
to the-
light's up, yeah.
to the 30. Got it. So, with the light spilling out, you do happen to see a couple of corpses that are strewn about the deck
I'd
here.
like to go check the closest one.
Okay, so you move
Your
up.
Bullseye's 60 feet.
Is it?
Yes.
So
I
you
have-
move
I
up
have
to the
range.
Cool.
you move up.
Oh no, it's 120. 60 feet bright, 60 feet dim.
Yeah.
That's what
So
it is, yeah.
you move up closer towards the where the hold is, where you see that there's like this heavy metal worked like lattice kind of covering with that split down the middle for easy opening. You see somebody kind of like laying away from it, partially decomposed. Shorts, kind of
Away
like
from it, so he's not on it. He's
he's
off
slightly
it.
away from it. It's like he was moving away from it at
All
some
right,
point.
so he was running. He was
moving
moving
away
away
from that area.
Away from which area?
all right,
Away from the center, that
the lattice work.
the hold, the
Um,
gate to the hold.
How does the gate look? Does it look rusted?
It looks old, and like
Okay.
darkened metal, so
Also-
it doesn't look rusted though.
Mechanics for the hooded lantern.
hmm
It's 30 feet bright, 30 feet dim normally. So 60 feet normally. And then you can close all the light and it's 5 feet of dim light.
Okay, so,
So I'm
21.
60 feet.
Okay, full on.
I will, without touching the body, I just want to look at it. Does it look like he's got cuts, scrapes, gouges?
Make
really
an
bruised.
investigation
That's
check,
really
please.
useful.
Or a investigation, we'll say.
-1.
We should put a link to that report.
No.
No.
Or
3.
Just for now.
3. Looking at him, it's hard to tell. He looks emaciated, and he looks like his clothes are kind of messed up, but it's hard to really tell.
How long does he look dead?
Best guess, couple
Yes.
days.
Okay, cool. Not
All right.
week or more. Or something.
Okay, where's everybody positioning themselves? So I know. So you went up to the first corpse.
Yep.
Here.
C.
So we'll do 4. Where are you at?
I'll come up to the corpse as well.
Okay, so you're up to it.
Put me, if you could, put me further, closer to you. So I assumed on the other side of the corpse. Yeah, like that.
Okay. 3. Zongak, what are you doing?
I'm staying where I'm at.
Okay.
Just
Lucrezia. 2. Where are you going?
So where's Mom? Where's?
Law, Theta, Zongak.
How far out does their light go?
60.
I'll go up, like
It
where
goes
the edge
60
of,
from me. So
The light is on what side?
Yeah. I wanna go like here.
wherever 60 is
Okay.
from there.
Well, no, 60 is really far.
No,
You
off
need
the
fucking-
water.
Off the boat.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
bye.
runs up and dives off.
And I wanna like see if I can hear anything or like I'm looking like kind of scouting this area.
Well, that is where we'll end this session.
Should we roll for stealth?
You should roll for initiative, is what you should do.
Oh shit! Both.
As Ma leans
Both
down and
attacks.
begins kind of looking, the corpse that's laying there, you see it's like its whole body kind of shakes for a minute.
I was gonna poke it with a stick to see if it was still undead.
As it shakes for a minute, there's this ghastly blue light that emanates from its eyes and its mouth, and it immediately just kind of like it shoots up almost like puppet-like, like all of his body just swings up to one side and just immediately brings both of its hands to attack Ma. For the posterity's sake,
He hits.
that's like a fucking 14 to hit.
Oh.
Just not.
it just flounders. Its hands and claws go out, just floundering, and you instinctively jump back like, whoa!
Son of a bitch!
As the shenanigans begin amongst the ghost ship. That is where we'll call the session. So
I mean, we rolled initiative.
we rolled in it. I wanted to get you there faster.
Yeah.
Started a little late due to some.
I got it.
Well, there was so much intrigue. We would have been there sooner.
Too many rumors.
Because
damn it.
doubt.
I'm sorry.
That's why I was like, let's get all these fucking
We were
guys out
fine
of this
with
bar
this.
and go.
We were so fine with it.
Yeah,
Like, hey,
honestly, it's
man,
good.
you can take Beryl. That's fine. Now we have doubts.
Do I have next Tuesday free?
That's a good question.
I just got my schedule for it, so.
Do you want to write down what we rolled, or should we?
Yes,
No.
I do. I will be here next
No?
Tuesday.
I got it wrote. Oh. I wrote it down.
I wrote mine down.
Should I erase it?
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll do it in the
Okay.
beginning of next session.
I'll keep it in case I roll shitty. I'll be like, I don't know why you had me roll.
I did not roll great, so I'm okay if we roll.
Mine too was below 10.
So yeah, we're just gonna roll next time.
I did not
Oh,
roll.
okay. Shit.
Lovely.
Thanks.
All right.
That's great to DM.
So-
you can roll a 1 next time.
It's okay. Everyone gonna be here next time?
I will.
Tentatively.
Yes.
I mean, I could die.
Oh,
We left
stop it.
Raw in the
I mean, you
hotel.
want plans. Yeah.
Ross
Oh.
at the end.
Some
When are
more
these guys
to-
gonna come back and tell me what the fuck's going on with
Yeah.
Beryl? Are we leaving? Are we staying? I don't know.
He's like making use of the. There's like a little wooden like fridge kind of thing, and there's like.
Maybe a wooden fridge with just like ice and sawdust in it.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that being said, thanks so much for hanging out with us, guys. Rocco, thanks very much for the host. I hope you guys enjoyed. Next time when we pick it back up, we will be at the ghost ship and starting the exploration of the
So we
spooky
can't call
ghost
this
ship.
Gallivanting on a ghost ship.
No, cannot call it gallivanting in a ghost ship.
Why not?
But it's because we haven't got to the ghost ship yet. Okay?
Ghost slaying on the ghost ship.
You didn't even.
Gallivanting in a
Oh,
galleon
man, I'm really
towards
surprised.
the Galleran ghost ship.
Yeah, there you
The
go.
ghost galleon.
Ghost galleon.
No, we were in a galleon.
No.
Yeah,
Headed towards.
a ghost galleon.
Yeah.
This just feels repetitive.
We'll get rid of the
It
first
is.
galleon.
That was the G that made it work. How
Well,
are we getting there otherwise?
there's got to be another. There's got to be another ghost.
Okay,
G.
so with that being said, we will be back next Monday for Monster Hunter Monday and the continuation of our attempt to hunt down Nergigante. Though, I might get with you later and we might hunt down Nergigante beforehand too, just to get it out of the way. Or you, because you're available today and you're
You
less
should
available
stream
today.
I'm completely not available at all.
The farming thing.
Oh.
I don't want to do it every time, otherwise the whole game would just be farming.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
Progressive
then
story.
record a time lapse of you farming.
Yeah, that's why I did it on Sunday. Spent the whole goddamn
Oh, that's
day.
right. Yeah.
You wanna
farming.
Nergy with me after this?
Yeah.
Nergigante?
You nerdy nerds.
So, with that being said, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We will be right back. We're going to go down for a second, and we'll come back with a talk back, little 20, 30-minute chitty chat. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them in the chat, and we will discuss when we come back. So, bear with us.
Look good or just?
It is weird.
Oh no, it looks like the old stuff. But like, how many skills?
I don't.
One of the things I've been looking at picking up is a what? One of the things I've been looking at picking up is a fire pit for the backyard. I found one I really liked. It was on super sale before I went to Disney, but I went to my dentist and it was the first day of the fiscal year, which meant that it cost me the price of that fire pit, and I had the money set aside, and I was just like, no, it's only $120. But it was then suddenly it was $120 for my dentist, and I was just no, because it's a $200 fire pit. It's 30% off from Target. I was really excited, and then no, it's a 3-day sale, so now it's $180. But I just bought a car, so
Right.
you know, those things.
All right. So at the end of every session, we usually come up and we talk about Dungeons and Dragons. We talk about tabletop role-playing games. Talk about board games. Anything actually, for the most part. However, if you have any questions about the campaign setting, about the game, about the characters, anything like that, feel free to throw them in chat. If you just have anything you want to say at all, throw it in chat and we will talk to you about it. That's what we do. You want to talk about your games, our games, your characters, whatever. Feel free. Any characters that these guys are running.
Questions, suggestions, curiosities.
Don't offer
what you ate for
suggestions.
dinner. We're down for anything.
We're down for lots of stuff. So until then, we will talk about nonsense until we get anything good. So what do you guys think? Ghost Ship?
I'm excited. I think the lead-up's real good.
Yeah.
What about the?
I have so many doubts.
What about all the doubts? Yeah. What's with that?
I don't know.
You got doubts now?
Yeah.
All
I have
kinds of
no
things.
doubts.
Well,
For
I
the
don't think
record.
we're gonna go.
Zongak has 0 doubt.
Okay. No doubt.
He knows there's
No doubt.
Ghost Ship.
Yeah.
There is a ghost ship, so no doubts. Are you interested
Why
in all
would
the
he want
rumors?
to stomp through shit in the sewer?
I'm interested in the rumors, and I'm very curious to see which one of them end up true. Because to be honest, Theta doesn't care about most of them.
I'm excited to plan this stuff out and figure stuff out.
Say what now?
I'm excited to plan this stuff out and figure out where we're going. Find out if Barrel comes up dead.
Wow. Well, you won't know that for
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Like
I
a
know.
month?
36 days.
Yeah.
So specific.
It's 18 days there, 18 days back. So if they
Perfect.
get there and get back, then you won't know for 36 days. Something happens along the way, they get entirely wiped out, you'll have no idea.
Yeah. They come across an ogre or something.
Well,
I was thinking more like a Tyrannosaurus
well, I
Rex.
kind of
Yeah.
have an idea if I never get my hammer back.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
If
'cause
we
she wouldn't
remember
send
after
it.
a month.
I'll fucking remember, trust me.
I mean, you'll see.
But I mean, so if we don't ever.
We have a lot of adventures to attend to. There's the temple in the water, and I'm sure
I'm
it'll be
still gonna
intriguing to get
remember.
home. There's the war on.
Yeah.
Like it's
I
a
have
very
2 hats
easy
I
thing
need to pick
forget.
up.
Not me.
I'll be excited when you forget.
I'm not going to.
You go.
I'm
My
missing.
hammer.
No, I'm missing a hammer. I'm missing my whole hammer.
My
Your whole
whole
identity
hammer.
as a person.
Yes. I gotta add that on here.
No hammer, no more.
That was just on the fly, too. I was like, I wasn't sure if I was going to ask you to take it, but I was like, you know what? Maybe she thinks it'd be
Yeah.
a good little lady bonding thing, but no, apparently not.
No, Tiff doesn't bond with
Apparently
other
no,
ladies.
not.
There's only one other female in the universe. Shades her.
I hate her. That's the only other lady in the galaxy. I don't like her. I don't like her.
I love that bit.
Yeah, Family Guy.
So stupid.
So next time when we pick it back up, you'll be in the ghost ship. Who's excited? I'm excited because I did all the planning for this thing. So
I'm excited, and which
Oh.
means you're great for the next episode.
Yeah,
Yep.
I got those Night Haunt guys. They came in a box about.
Dude, the
That big.
level of detail on these things is insane. They are sharp. Everything about them is sharp.
Very
The ends of their cloaks, their fingers, there's horses that are skeletal,
Mhm.
and there's like cloth over the horses, and you can see the ribs through the cloth. It's like the
That's so
marble
cool.
sculptures.
Oh yeah, I
Nice.
love those things.
Let's see
It's
what
insanity.
undead we got over here.
I could bring back that
Is Theta interested in anything?
Gilly Man.
Any of the other stuff?
Like
Like any of those other rumors? Or no?
And I
he's
might
curious
have a
about
couple
the
of
Duke,
more
but
done.
aside from being curious about the Duke, it's not really important to him because the
Okay.
most important thing to him was the job we were doing. So as long as Barrel gets back, fine.
Do we have normal skelly
Skelly
mans?
I have a
So if
bunch.
Barrel, if he
Just a regular
hunts
one?
past Barrel doesn't get
Yeah, I have a
out, okay? What would
bunch at
Theta
home.
do?
I could.
It won't do anything
paint
to
real
him, but
quick.
it will severely affect his choices in the future.
He wouldn't like be like, oh, we have to go take revenge on the Duke.
Duke's just doing
Oh yeah, I
his
brought the cards in case
And
you
I
wanted
wanted to trust another
inspiration
thing,
about
thing.
Abilities
He
and
doesn't
stuff.
say that to me.
Yeah. Light hardcore. Hammer.
I will also advise anyone who can hear me, including the king and etc., that
Oh.
we were lied to by Duke.
Well, wouldn't that affect, like, if he, I mean, if we were like, go to the king or something and like, hey, you know, you might want to watch out for that Duke. we entrusted him with Beryl and she disappeared or whatever.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that like?
Well, it depends on. It very strongly depends here. I'll tell you from character perspective, it depends very much so on how well Noah knows Kellington. Kellington, how well he knows him, and how willing he is to believe abandoned adventurers of what happened, and how willing he is to believe the lie or possibility that they were assaulted in the forest in a war-torn zone.
We'd probably be talking to Ellie.
Yeah.
Because Noah's at the Capitol.
He's at the
Oh, that's right.
Capitol.
He comes home sometimes though.
He's at
Yeah, he goes
Patella?
back and forth. No, Patel is the name that they're
Yeah,
switching
Right.
the.
Right, he's going to New Alabra.
Sorry.
Alabra is the name of the continent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what they're doing is they're changing the name of the capital is going to have a different name too when
New
it's
Alabra.
done.
Yay.
Neo Alabra. It will have a new name as well. However, once they officially move, the port city that you're currently in will become Batella,
Okay.
and it's specifically Port Batella, because it
But
still
would
remains a naval
would Noah
base.
care about that? If Beryl went, if we like were like,
Yes.
Okay.
Noah would care about it.
Depending on how it happened.
Yeah. Well, no matter what happens,
Yes,
that's a
he'd
whole.
care,
That's
yeah.
a leader of a whole area that's been knocked down. He would have to go visit, and he would have to find out.
headache of things that you didn't need to deal with right now.
Yep. Also, how does that affect their warfighting capability? They lose a leader right before something happens. That's a big deal. He would very much want to know, but it also depends on what happens. How forthcoming of information. Does the Duke seem like the type of person who would keep it a secret, or do you think he'd just be like, here's this note that outlines everything that happened?
She's dead now.
Goodbye.
He'd be pretty, I think he'd be discreet about it.
No, I think he
There
would
you
write a field report about it. Regardless of how it happened, there would be a field report that said that she got killed in the field. They were set upon.
Oh,
purpose,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that one man made it back, died of his injuries once he was here. Because if you kill off a leader, you're not going to keep that hit squad around to be questioned.
So, yeah.
Lots of fun options.
So, yeah, it comes down with how much
Or you
information,
keep them
how
around because
forthcoming.
they're fucking terrifying.
Or he puts them in the sewers. Or wherever he's torturing people.
Well, also the question is how you even if all that stuff does happen and it's all bad and you tell him, can he sacrifice one of the greatest military minds right now?
Yeah.
Or would he have to wait until after the conflict
play
is
along.
over?
To actually research
Why are
it, even if-
Alabra and Lorraine upset with each other?
They
They
have
always
for
have.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been at odds for years.
Vietnam and China.
Yeah, but I mean, you remember at the onset of the first game, Lorin was mistakenly blamed for the assassination of the king.
That's
Yeah.
right. We
So
never
that was all.
heard that.
And so because they had a long history of violence,
Was
it wasn't.
mistakenly or mistakenly? Because does anybody know?
No one knows that
So
happened.
it's not
Did our
mistakenly.
bard find out
Yeah.
anything that was helpful about that?
Which bard?
Okay. Yeah, precisely.
So so basically everyone believes that Lorin attacked and
Lorraine's like, but it
assassinated.
wasn't us always.
Well, that's what they were, and they were mad about it. But
Yeah.
then now, even now, you have basically Alyosha went and fucking blew up the Lost Isle, which enraged the Fae, which brought the Fae out from the Feywild into the Lost Isle, and has been currently kind of raining havoc on both sides with impunity, because they do not fucking care. Like,
These seem like problems that are too big for our little group.
well,
We
actually,
don't
there's
even
a.
have a name.
Yeah. So like.
Not yet. I'm waiting for you guys to give one for a group.
How can we fix political
I don't think we're a
ramifications?
true-
Well, it's
Yeah.
because you're small right now. You're worrying
We're
worrying
gonna-
about local little things.
Yeah.
Because you're not even level 5 yet.
Yeah.
Oh shit! You're all supposed to add 300 EXP.
Oh, cool.
Oh shit! Seriously?
Somebody text Andy.
I already did.
Thank you.
So,
Experience.
He's gonna be like, why do I have so much experience? So for 5, 7.
Yes.
and then I don't know when you level up.
6,500.
Yeah.
I have it right here.
What do you guys add?
4570 and 4530 over there.
After this boat, you probably.
Oh god.
I mean, if you
We need about 2K.
do all the encounters on the boat, theoretically you should be able to level up.
What if we just set the boat on fire? Does that count as the... Okay. Just checking.
Then when
Just
the boat starts
curious.
sinking, and we go with it.
Or you escape, but even then, I wouldn't count it as a. You wouldn't get
We
EXP for the end of
defeated
it.
everything on the boat.
Maybe not though. There's ghosts. They can just walk into the water and be fine. If there's undead, they can walk into the water and be
It depends.
fine.
What if they're attached to the boat because that's where they died and they're sad people?
I'm telling you, they're not.
I hate you.
Anything else that's on the boat might be fucking.
You're
Oh,
a
that's so
pedantic
weird.
god.
Anyway, so It depends. It depends, I guess. But they've been pissed off at each other forever.
Almost time to fight.
That was actually the opening, one of the opening plot hooks that you guys could have followed was the Blue Princess.
Oh yeah.
It was the emissary of Winter, and if you would have encountered her, which required you to find a way into the Noble District.
Yeah, I think that's.
However,
why, 'cause we're like,
if you
that's-
guys found a way in, whether it was get somebody or sneak in or whatever, she would have tried to keep you as a pet, and you as a pet, and that would have started you would have been able to kind of explore with them and
We're
get.
just too scared of things, I think.
Hey, that's part of the game though. There was a bunch of different shit that could have taken the story in different directions.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blow up in the city would have happened regardless because that was like the first kind of big thing. But depending on which direction you headed from there was based on what decisions you made.
What would have happened if one of us just randomly murdered Hubba, that dude?
Which one?
The guy who blew up.
Caleb?
Caleb.
Really?
Like you like, killed him before you. Nothing would have changed.
Just like randomly walked up to a stranger, stabbed him in the throat, and it happened to be Caleb.
Well, then he wouldn't have exploded. But chances are that chick probably would have tried to find someone else.
That's right.
It would have just delayed her
Okay. So
plot
there
to
wouldn't
do
have
it.
been a blow up then. Maybe
Right.
later.
It wouldn't have happened right
I
then.
still
Yeah.
found that chick officially. And she's
He's banging the Duke's
Yeah.
friend.
that's not good.
His retainer, Veer. Yeah.
She's retaining him.
She
Oh.
Does he have a bowl cut? I always forget.
No, he had hair down to his shoulders, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
He was
I was
Like
hoping it was
blonde,
like the
messy hair.
really bad bangs
Scars.
way up here and then the bowl cut.
He had, like, scars.
Or what?
Yeah.
That's an A-frame.
Yeah. He was
No,
wearing
it's-
a mask
Yeah.
or a visor, I guess.
All the way around.
But yeah, that was.
'Cause they always have that for like.
I want to get to know
young
the High
knights.
Confessor and be his friend.
Yeah.
I think you guys are already working on that, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna be in the High Confessor's friend.
Yeah.
Hey man,
I want to high five him in public and have him high five me back.
he'd probably do it.
Turned up.
Yeah.
I want to see him do some
I
PDA
said.
and then tell scandalous stories to.
He would not tell scandalous stories. He wouldn't do that
Any
one.
chats or anything like that? 'Cause that's-
You just got to be careful with
Oh,
what
my
you say
old
around him. Is
Tor
all.
Chat, which runs Twitch.
That's it. He has no-go areas. He's got triggers, you know. And that's all. You just avoid the triggers, and you don't have to worry about him, cutting you in half. That's about it.
So don't talk about dumplings.
He doesn't. He's not a fan. Don't talk about him getting bullied by another member of the court. No, that doesn't.
What was it?
Matthias. Yeah.
Amadeus.
Rock me Amadeus. Well, because I was trying to think. Yeah, that was a fun
Rock me on
little.
the dice.
They dueled once because he offended the High Confessor. The High Confessor tried to judge him, and it failed. It backfired. And now, the Duke basically taunts him with it. Because unlike the High Confessor, he didn't kill him as retribution. Instead, he let him live with his fucking failure and be like, nah, go ahead. Keep shit talking. Like, keep doing your thing.
Inside of his helmet, it just says "baby back bitch."
Right? I just tattooed it on his helmet so he has to look at it every day. But yeah.
Bitch ass buster.
Your phone broke?
Yeah. It won't even turn on to charge.
That's exciting.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Yay,
mine did
burner
that.
phone incoming. Looks like somebody doesn't need access to fucking any unique utilities.
What?
Unique
No,
utilities,
yeah,
like
just a
apps and
flip
stuff.
phone.
We'll get you a flip phone.
Okay,
I'm excited, because it'll work better. That's my reaction. I have a burner phone you can use.
I have
No, we
my
should figure out
I have my
how-
old S5, but I gotta comb
That's
through
the
it because there's a
charger for it.
lot of pictures of my dick on there.
I have a bunch of old phones too. I don't know if they all work.
Would it let me use it?
You have a SIM card?
Yeah.
Then yeah. Phone's phone.
It's a T-Mobile one. Doesn't matter.
Should- I'll take a look at it when I get home. It's on the counter. I'll go through and try to wipe it.
Try to wipe it. You're like, there's just so many dicks I can't. It's like a
It's
mountain.
an active time in my life.
Is that one of us?
No, that's him.
There's some really
Oh.
amusing.
I think you're
angles.
trying to see if the chat was make sure chat was
You're trying to
working.
see what worked?
No, I had requests.
Okay. I had a request.
Did you use shaft shots or just a regular camera?
I think Shaft Shots is installed on that phone.
That is like a present to me. Like your shot. What the heck?
In case you need to take pictures of your junk.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you get a tiny Eiffel Tower in the other hand.
An undersized baguette.
Right. Man, look at this thing. A tiny Sona can or whatever.
Or even make your hand even smaller.
Right.
Enlarge the testicles.
Why would you do that?
No.
Nobody wants to see grapefruit.
Somebody wants to see great balls up there, sure. I knew a chick who was.
This
very
is not
adamant
South
about
Park.
it. No.
This is the best talkback ever.
Right?
Thank
All
you
right.
for the
Well,
chat.
on that note, I think we can go ahead and
Yeah.
call it. We
that
can
you?
cut it early.
Because
Yeah.
I'm
me.
When
fucking
did you do that?
famished.
All right. So we're gonna take off, but thanks so much for hanging out with us, Rocco. Thanks so much for the host. We are. I totally didn't brief it in the beginning. If you go into the channel description, there is a follower Discord. If you want to hit us up on there. We also have a sub-only Discord for our subs. We are doing a D&D related giveaway at 10 subscribers or 200 subs, whichever one comes first. That was way backwards. 10 subs or 200 followers.
It's
Oh,
cool.
Whichever one comes first.
Oh, yeah.
We are-
200 subs
we
or
are
bust.
We are very close to our sub goal. So if that is something you're interested in, feel free. Get access to sub-only Discord. Obviously, have a higher chance of winning. You do have to be in chat to win. So yeah, shout out. That's it.
I should probably mention that sometimes in the post.
We will be
Yeah.
back next Monday for Monster Hunter Monday, and we will be obviously back next week for the continuation of the ghost ship and the exploration and the hunt and the death or whatever happens
Hunt
next
for
time.
Red October.
I'm
So-
thinking that. I'm like, how can I turn
Bye
that
bye
into a
bye
ghost
bye
thing?
bye bye. Run away real quick and then.
Oh, God.